It's October 11th, 1991. Gremlins 2, the new batch, is released on VHS. Arkansas Governor Bill Clinton announced he will seek the 1992 Democratic nomination for President of the United States. Missouri-born comedian and actor, king of the party records, Red Fox dies. Just when the world is getting a little sick of southern accents and tiny monsters, the sickness gets worse because Ernest Scared Stupid comes to theaters.
They irritate the irritated, flex perplexities, poise puzzles, magnify mysteries, impose inquiries, and coagulate quandaries. But more importantly, they ask one question.
Why would you make this?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Why Would You Make This? I am Jimmy Time, and as always, I am joined by my co-hosts, Danny Money.
Hi, how are you?
Jay Delta. How are you?
Doing pretty well.
All right, good. You guys watched Ernest Scared Stupid, right?
Sure did.
Yes. Okay, good. Well, we did, but other people didn't watch it because in other countries, sometimes it's called something else. So why don't we go ahead and jump into Lost in Translation. First off, even in here in America, the working title was called Ernest Scared Stiff. But, I don't know why. I don't know why they jumped away from that. I guess because the storyline, it makes sense. In Italy, we are already getting away from the title. It was called Ernesto and a Terrible Legacy. Next, I'm not too sure where these came from, but in Finland and in Sweden, the film was called Ernest, King of the, and then it's just a placeholder for some sort of idea, like some sort of who's mentally deficient or socially awkward. So in Finland, it's King of the Kooks, and in Sweden, it's King of the Jerks. Not too sure how that applied. He didn't really seem like either of those things in this film. Well, I guess the townspeople kind of thought he was a kook, but for the French title in Canada, the film was called Ernest Hunting for Monsters. In Portugal, it was called Ernesto Ghostbusters.
I wonder if they're trying to capitalize
I
on
don't know.
some kind of existing property.
Let's accuse all of Portugal of something. In Brazil, it was called The Fool and the Beast.
I wish I knew how close to Beauty and the Beast this came out. Like, what year did Beauty and the Beast come out?
Oh,
I wonder if they were like,
I think it was like a 90, like an early 90s film.
I'm pretty sure it was early 90s.
Yeah, but I don't think it was around the time of Ernest. I want to say maybe 93. When did this movie come out? 91.
This is 91.
This is 91.
But
yeah.
I mean, Ernest, the last Ernest film came out in like 97, 98.
Really that late?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
1991.
It was when?
Beauty and the Beast.
Well, no, but what month though?
Oh, you motherfucker.
That's what you gotta know.
November. Oh, they beat him to the punch.
Oh, how'd they do that?
Maybe it came out later in Brazil. Sometimes they do.
Oh yeah, that's true. So Brazil, just as bad as Portugal. Yeah, not if we haven't gone far enough away from the title yet. It goes pretty far away. Next with Germany, it's called Chaotic Halloween. I mean, sure it was, but the Halloween franchise could have been called that.
Yeah.
It's more of a title that describes what the movie is rather than an actual title for a movie.
I wonder if in Germany, Jingle All the Way is just called Silly Christmas. Okay, and the video title in Greece, the film is called For Laughs and Tears. What? Where they don't even explain that Ernest is in the film? What's going on? I feel like this was the one Ernest film they got. That was it, so it didn't matter. Yeah, nobody. All right, let's go ahead and jump into just special info. Did you guys find anything on this film at all?
No. The only thing I was able to find was how much it's made box office.
Okay.
Which was 14.1 million, and which I actually saw just now online that it's actually the lowest of all the Ernest movies to make money.
I am astounded.
I'm sorry, just the
Well,
lowest...
out of the theater
Okay,
releases.
because there is a bunch of VHS there.
Out of the theater releases.
I'm astounded they made $14 million. From the
Yeah.
look of this film, I think it cost about $46 to make.
Yeah, no, it didn't...
So the profit margin must have been enormous. I can't imagine.
Yeah, I know. All the costumes in the film kind of look like they just walked in like the Jim Henson warehouse and were like, "What aren't you using? That stuff? You're never gonna use that? Yeah, we'll take it."
Well, I did find out that the guys who did the special effects,
Okay.
the guys who did the troll makeup,
Yeah.
they were the guys who did Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Okay.
So I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Yeah, so
or
that's
not.
probably why the trolls look familiar. Or something
Yeah,
like
all
that,
the trolls look very. I don't know if they legit were just like, let's just use the fucking
Just
scraps.
Just take half of this clown, half of that.
Just take
Well,
the
'cause
makeup.
Some of the trolls at the end they did look kind of clownish.
They don't look trollish. They look
Yeah.
more like clowns.
Yeah, yeah. That was one of the things I did find was that, I mean, this is all the way at the end, but the death scene, the way he kind of spirals into a piff, like that was apparently a death scene originated from Killer Clowns.
Same effect in Killer Clowns.
Amazing.
I did find out that this was the last Ernest movie produced under Touchstone Pictures,
Yes.
which was, it's a Disney subsidiary. So this was Disney's last attempt at Ernest.
Yeah. I was looking through the history of Ernest. I was trying to figure out, where this character come from. How did it get to the point where they got 4 movies before they were like, all right, this is no good anymore. And what I have here is the character of Ernest P. Worwell was created for commercials from, I didn't write down the company that created him, but it was created simply for commercials.
Yeah.
Where Vern, the character he was talking to, would be nothing more than an unseen neighbor that he was trying to help in some way.
Yeah.
And then after, I guess, enough commercials hit it big and the character became famous, they came out with Know What I Mean, Vern. Oh, no, sorry. Know What I Mean, Hey, Vern, It's My Family Album, which was basically just like
A comedy album?
No. It's my family. It was a film. It was a TV
Oh.
video, but it was like a clumps, just a whole bunch of him playing the same character over and over again.
Yeah.
Kind of a craziness. And after that was the Ernest Film Festival, which I'm not positive, but I think may have just been a collection of his commercials.
Okay.
And then after that was Dr. Otto and the Riddle of the Gloom Beam, which is where he was just a character that I guess appeared in the film, which is, again, one of the many characters that Jim Varney played. Then it was Hey Vern, Win $10,000. And then we got to Ernest Goes to Camp, which is the first movie.
What about his TV show? Hey, Vern, It's Ernest.
That didn't come until after the first movie.
Really?
Yeah, that's what it said here.
Oh my god.
Either that or maybe I read it wrong and it came out the exact same year and they
Yeah.
listed it
But
after
still,
that.
how many other TV things did he have before they're like, here's a movie? You know what? Here you go.
Exactly.
How did this character get
Seriously,
so
from
popular?
commercials and then TV movies and then a theatrical movie? Wow. Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Hey, man, power to him.
He didn't start here either. He was a character like
He was like an actor,
Yeah, yeah.
acting on stage.
I
Shakespeare.
when I read like all this history, I was like, let me see what this guy did. And this guy was like, at 18, he went like into the city and he was like, yeah, I work at like a dinner theater type of and he just acted like every day.
You know he has photographic memory?
What?
Yes. Well, he's dead, so he
yeah.
doesn't.
Any memory anymore.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently,
Shame me for that.
apparently Jim Varney had photographic memory.
That's-
So what they would do is like he would read the script to his commercials once,
Yeah.
and then he would just fill in. They'd shoot the same commercial all day, every day, and he would just like, "Oh, what are you doing, Vern? Well, how about this new ice cream called Yum Ice Cream? Oh, hey, Vern, how you doing, Ern? How about this milk? Yum Milk." And they would just change. I regrettably watched some of the old commercials,
Okay.
and they're all awful.
They're all-
I don't know. I can't imagine. I don't know how this character took off.
That's the thing about Ernest is it's you either love the fuck out of Ernest or you just go, why?
Who?
Why did anyone point a camera at this?
Who loves the fuck out of this character?
I think at least 81 people on Amazon just gave it 5 stars. so-
81.
Yeah.
Out of a global population of 6.5 billion. You got 81.
I think it was out of 117 reviews. So,
Well, yeah, I sat through, I watched a lot of his old commercials, or, they had compilations on YouTube of a bunch of his, so I sat there and, I watched 10 minutes of commercials. I watched an episode or two of Hey Vern, It's Ernest.
wow.
Horseshit. Everything, it's all horseshit.
I feel like just looking at Ernest and seeing his aura, I feel like he's the poor man's version of Pee Wee Herman.
Yes.
See, I don't think poor man, I think...
Maybe not just redneck. I don't know.
Yeah,
Poor man.
Yes,
like...
exactly the
I
South's
probably
answer to it.
I probably can't relate because I'm not white trash. that's like if I was walking around in a wife beater all the time, drinking Bud Lights, sitting out on my front lawn in my lawn chair, like maybe I'd be like, man, I can really relate to this Ernest guy, but no.
Yeah, I didn't. It wasn't one of the later reviews that I wrote down, but like the first. Or I meant the first, like the latest, the last one of the 1-star review for this film was just some lady who was just like, my 4-year-old granddaughter didn't even finish the film. Just walked away from it. I was like, really, 4 years old? I watched this, I figure it's perfect for kids.
Yeah.
I figured kids would love it. But then it was the first one I saw was my 4-year-old granddaughter walked away. I was like, wow! So I guess that's it. No other special... couldn't find her.
Not that I can think of.
No. Yeah, right there. Yeah, there was not too much about this thing. So let's go ahead and do the greatest hour we have on this show.
What hour is that?
Oh, I think you know what hour it is. It's the Troy McClure hour.
Oh, hello, and welcome to Rancho Relaxo. I'm Troy McClure. You might remember me from such films as Today We Kill, Tomorrow We Die, and Gladys the Groovy Mule. But today you'll see me in my greatest role. Your video tour guide to Rancho Relaxo.
Okay, Jim Varney plays Ernest P. Worrell. I didn't know this until I actually paid attention to him when he said it. His name is Worrell. I thought it was Warwell.
Oh, no, I knew it was War.
Oh, yeah, I thought Warwell also.
Yeah, I don't know why. I thought it was Warwell.
Maybe because I had read stuff.
I guess.
But
I just always thought it was whatever. You may remember him from such roles as Ernest P. Worrell from movies and TV series such as Hey Vern, It's Ernest. This is, of course, his biggest role. So he has also played Slinky Dog from Toy Story and Toy Story 2. Which I kind of thought that was just a poor version of him.
Yeah.
But apparently it's really him.
It's the...
Imagine you get famous and then you kind of de-fame and then go, I'll just play a cheap version of myself. And then I'll just make parodies of myself and I'll be a billionaire.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that was him.
Yeah, that's amazing. And most recently he played a character called Cookie in the motion picture Atlantis, The Lost Empire, the video game. He also played it in the actual film, but most recently it was the video game that came out.
You know what else he was in that I was astounded to find out?
What's that?
3 Ninjas. High Noon at Mega Mountain.
The one with Hulk Hogan?
The one with Hulk Hogan. He plays like the evil woman. He plays like the lead henchman, and he gets into a fight with one of the ninjas and tries to kill him with a sword and somehow ends up falling off a roller coaster. I watched that clip on YouTube.
I gotta go watch it now, yeah.
It was
That's
ridiculous.
amazing. I own that video on VHS. So. No. I love those kids as a movie. I think we've already established that everything I loved as a child was just awful. So.
I think, to be fair, I'm pretty sure everything everybody loves as a child is just awful.
I like, Mr. Varney sadly died in February of 2000. Eartha Kitt plays Old Lady Hackmore. You may remember her from such roles as Catwoman in the 1966 television series Batman.
I did not know this.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
There's 2 Catwomen.
I know.
Okay.
I had to. I was
Yeah.
so confused because I was like, "Wait,
I was like, not white. What's going on?
What's her name? Julie Newmar.
Yeah,
was
Julie
that?
Newmar. Yeah.
I was like, Julie Newmar was Catwoman.
Yeah.
So in season 3, they were just like, "No, Catwoman's black now."
Yeah.
And it makes me think back to there was a Mad TV sketch. I don't even remember what the fuck the premise was, but it was. Like Deborah Wilson played like the black Catwoman, and when I saw her, the voice, I was like, "Wait, this lady sounds like Deborah Wilson as Catwoman." And it blew my mind.
She also played Madame Zeroni from Holes. And most recently, she played the voice of Cool Cat on the television series The Wonder Pets. Sadly, Miss Kit died on December 25th of 2008. Finally, Austin Nagler and Shay Astor play Kenny and Elizabeth, respectively. According to IMDb, this is Austin Nagler's only role. Which I was shocked because after like about 5 minutes in the film, I was convinced that he was the kid who played Spanky in The Little Rascals.
Yes!
Right?
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
No, two different people. I looked at
I know.
his and then I was like...
The second I saw him, I paused the movie to see if it was him. It wasn't him.
No, I was shocked that it
I
wasn't
thought
him.
it was someone more famous because like you look like someone
Yeah.
very familiar right now.
I was like, oh, that's Spanky. I was like, I always wondered if he did anything else. And then the nerd kid,
Billy or whatever.
Kenny.
Joe.
Kenny?
No, Kenny's the main character.
Jimmy, Steve, whatever, the nerd kid with the glasses.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Joe.
I
or
was
something.
like, oh, he played Ernie in Billy Madison. Looks exactly like him. Nope, not him. Ernie was the kid who pees his pants.
Yeah,
and then, not him.
I didn't think he looked that much like him.
You know what?
No. Let alone if you think about it, he wouldn't be old enough to be Ernie.
Look, listen.
He de-aged? Hang on, wait a minute.
How does time work in your brain?
I didn't know what year Billy Madison was. All I'm going to say is white people, most of them look the same. I will say this as a white person. White people...
I think that's why there's so much incest with white people. They just don't know. They just don't know.
Oh, she was related? Oh, I thought that was...
That was my mother? No, I thought that was that lady. Oh, well. But as for Shay Astor, you better remember her from such roles as August from the 1996 television series Third Rock from the Sun.
Nope.
No, it was the
was
Tommy's girlfriend.
Oh yes, okay,
Oh.
yeah.
Like the kind of like aggressive one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much the main one, I think. A character called Andrea from the Oz Kids home video franchise. And most recently, Melanie from the television series Shameless. You can see the full cast and crew at imdb.com.
Now, the Oz Kids, is that based on The Wizard of Oz
Yes.
or Oz the
No, not the...
HBO show?
Why would you assume that?
That'd be an interesting show.
No! What?
It's like Muppet
It's our
Babies.
kids, yeah.
It's like Muppet Babies, but set in Oz.
I don't know what you guys are thinking about, but all I can think about is baby rape right now. Because I'm pretty sure that was 90% of Oz was just rape. And you guys were going to introduce babies into that. And in fact, right now, all I can think of is a Saturday Night Live skit that Jerry Seinfeld did, where the character of Jerry Seinfeld was in the Oz universe.
yeah.
And I remember one thing where he just walked up to some guy and he's like, "So how's it going?" And then the guy's like, "Larry pricked me with an AIDS-infested needle." And he's like, "Well, good luck with all that." Oh, man. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into the film. All right. The film opens, and Ernest makes a series of facial expressions intercut with black and white horror films. I was already upset because I didn't know if this was like a common occurrence in Ernest films.
Yeah.
I wanted to know if, like, Ernest Saves Christmas was just him making happy faces, like, with fake, I don't know, snowflakes would intercut with, like, Santa and the Martians, or I don't know, like, just old black and white films.
Watching the opening credits, I could not believe this movie wasn't direct-to-video.
Yes.
I watched, and I was like, oh, this was direct-to-video. And then I looked at it, and I was like, wait, theatrical, who the fuck would see this?
Yeah, I don't know. I agree that when I was watching it, I thought, I was like, this feels like a high-end made-for-TV movie.
It's like some,
Yeah.
it's like the ABC Family's
Yeah,
yearly
exactly.
Halloween. That's exactly how it felt.
which is terrible because this is the start, and I'm already like, what? Like, this is a real film? Like, I felt like the credits were gonna end. They're like, we'll be back after this commercial.
Yeah.
Like, just jump. But it was a real film, apparently. After all those shots, we see through what appears to be the eyes of a monster as it chases a little girl through the woods. Eventually, villagers show up and capture it just as it gets close in on the little girl. We cut to the villagers carrying, presumably the monster that it threw nets and chains on in the woods, tosses it into a hole, and puts an oak tree on top of the hole to seal it. They say some weird voodoo curse. I watched it twice, and I was just like, I don't...
They put an oak tree on top? That I did not know.
Yeah, that I caught.
All right, but I just want to say, what an awful plan they had. What an awful...
I know.
They captured the troll. They could just beat it to death.
I know. What?
But they dig a hole, throw it on it, and they just put a tree on top. And we're not talking like the whole village like uses winches and pulleys to like drop a full-size tree. No, it's
6 guys.
It's like, you know, a tree that I would pick up by myself and plant. So I'm like, in 40 years, this will make a decent-sized tree.
Yeah.
A tiny tree they planted.
Like a sapling.
Yeah, some shit you would buy at Home Depot.
I think it might have a bag around it, too. Like, why do they have that in the 1700s?
I was pretty sure, but I wasn't going to go back.
They had a burlap sack around the bottom. Oh, man. And the funny part is I'm sitting here watching, like, long ago in Briarville, Missouri, and I'm like, I don't know what it is about this Briarville, Missouri in long ago, but this feels more like modern time than I think modern time is going to feel. And the second they cut to school, I go, I feel like I just went into the past now. Like, it looked like it looked like modern time back in the 1800s or whatever.
See, maybe it's me being a piece of shit. But
I'm sure it is. But
when it's like Briarville long ago and the way they're dressed, I'm thinking like late 1700s, early 1800s, Missouri. And then 2 of the people saying there were black.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute.
hang on.
I was like, don't pretend slavery didn't exist.
That's exactly what
I was like, we're not just skipping over that.
You can't un-awkward slavery. That's just... yeah, so they bury him in a hole, and they stop for a second to hear the troll curse them, and then they're like, all right, let's continue burying him.
I could barely understand the troll half the time. He would just like, my version, like...
I understood him a little bit.
I thought I could understand him pretty well.
Sometimes I could, sometimes I couldn't. It depended.
I probably wasn't paying attention enough to him to notice if I really could. I might just be saying that I did.
Yeah, you just heard noises and you're like, yeah, he's...
Yes. Oh.
Yep.
Power on, man. Right up to you. Then the scene that we're seeing is apparently a story being told by a little girl who, in present times, at a school. The children mock her story, and there's some boy in class that defends her. And the teacher kind of talks about history and then stuff like how it's great and all that stuff. And then they ask the teacher's like, well, tell us, continue the story. What happens, you know, to the mob or whatever, to the people? And it's like, well, the story says that the leader or whatever, so the descendant is going to get dumber and dumber and dumber. We smash cut to Ernest, who has his fingers in his mouth.
I just want to stop you there because
Okay.
one thing I thought was funny, the girl finishes reading and
Yes.
like they mock her and the head bully's like, that story's bull, and her defense is, it's not bull, I read it in a book.
Yeah, that's how things used to be. If it was in a book, like, why would anybody put it in a book? Like, who would do that?
Yeah, the Martians really invaded. I read
a book.
I read the book, yeah.
A book.
War of the Worlds, yeah, they invaded.
Yeah.
I read it in a book.
A book.
And then what is it? This scene for me also started my hunch that this movie isn't so much like a comedy, scary movie, as much as it's a love story about 2 kids. Because what is it? Because Kenny's always defending her, and then like,
Yes.
and then like throughout the movie, he's always doing like things to kind of like impress her and like be real sweet towards her. So like I felt like it was one of those where it's like, oh yeah, this is going on, but at the same time, we're gonna throw in a small little love story to, you know, kind of hitch it on.
Yeah, I didn't think it was enough of a love story, because, like, they started something, and then they realized, you know, love kind of ends with, like, sex and marriage, and they're 8, so let's just abandon that.
I already hate the movie at this point.
Oh, I know, right? Like, I think it was, like, I think I got 17 minutes in before I was like, I gotta walk away. I'm done.
Oh, I didn't walk away. I was just like,
I had to pause and take a
Fuck
break. I had
this
to go, I have to
movie.
look at something else, because this is too much. And one thing I didn't mention, which is the first time, like the second the girl gets done telling the story, is we see what I'm pretty sure is Ernest murdering someone because he drives. Did you notice that the car or the truck that drives outside the window?
Oh yeah, it's dragging someone.
Yeah, it's dragging someone on
No,
like the back. You didn't notice that?
No.
Oh my god, yeah. I don't remember how it's brought up, but all of a sudden you just see a garbage truck drive by outside the window, and it's Ernest because you hear, "I'm sorry," and on the back it's like some sort of weird like crossing gate or it looks like chain link fence with like stop and caution on it, and there's like a crossing guard on that chain link fence being dragged behind the garbage truck, and like I think there are sparks coming because it's chain link fence being, and they're like, "Stop, Ernest, stop!" And he's like, "I'm sorry," and he doesn't stop, he just keeps driving. So yeah, like 5 minutes into the film, and Ernest is kind of trying to kill somebody, and I'm sorry, already I'm like, this is like how is this a kid's film?
That's not the worst part. They show the teacher deliberately sees Ernest driving with the person dragging along, and she ignores it and just like, okay, back to teaching.
Which not only that, I think later they say that she's actually the principal.
Oh,
I think. I'm not positive. Either that or she's the only teacher in the school.
I'm gonna go with only teacher.
Probably the only teacher in the school. Yeah, so out in the parking lot, Ernest has his fingers in his mouth because he can't figure out how to make his garbage can cleaning machine work. It starts to work, but then it goes crazy, and he can't control it. He tells his dog Rimshot to help him, and he just starts hitting switches inside the garbage truck.
which did anyone else find that to be a really strange name for a dog, Rimshot?
Yeah.
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 Maybe it's just because as I grow older, I become more of a cynical asshole. But like, I just hate movies, and this is why right from the get-go I fucking hate this movie, because I know when they introduce the kids, I know a lot of it's gonna be like, oh man, kids doing cool shit. No, like the fact that Ernest has this strange contraption built like this Wayne Zelinsky from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids like device that's a garbage.
Yes.
I'm like, fuck this movie. I was like, it made sense in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids because he's the fucking mad scientist.
Yeah.
I was like, get that shit out of my Ernest movie.
Yeah, I know. I was sitting there, I was going, this guy is taking the word sanitary engineer way too literally.
Yeah. And to be fair, they're like, and the descendants will get dumber and dumber and dumber.
Yeah.
And they introduce Ernest. And again, it's like, oh, fingers in his mouth.
Yeah.
But he has this fucking high-tech...
Right?
Oh, I couldn't build that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then, I feel it gets worse because, I want to know about worse, but just that discrepancy gets worse because as the dog's hitting switches, one of them shuts off the machine, but also triggers the garbage lift and throws him into the back.
Yeah.
And then the crusher starts to go, and he tries to put items in between the walls, kind of like Chewbacca in
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars. Yeah, obviously, totally obviously that's what that was. And eventually, he realizes, oh, if I just take the remote control and pull the batteries out, the whole truck will shut off.
Yup.
Are you, like, do you understand how smart, I don't care, even if you're just very lucky, you still have to have a little bit of intelligence to be able to rewire a diesel engine truck to D-cell batteries. Like, it doesn't...
And then we have a demonstration of how electricity does not work. Because he pulls the batteries out, and an arc shoots and connects, and the crusher thing...
It didn't even go through him. It just arced in the air. like it was super humid inside the garbage truck. I can't believe that right off the bat we're supposed to believe that he's just because he didn't build this elaborate machine correct. Like, if he should have just pressed the machine on and it just went tick and nothing happened. And I'm like, oh, I guess he really is a dumbass. Like, the fact that it turned on is amazing.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be great if he just died?
That's what I thought. I was like, it's like, that's a little, like, this is supposed to be a family film, and this guy might die, like, 4 seconds into the film.
But I'm gonna go and do what I sometimes do and provide my alternative take of the movie.
yeah.
Ernest Scared Stupid would have been so much better if he fucking died and Ghost Ernest just went around scaring people.
I like it already! Damn it! Tell me more! Yeah, and then you think he's gonna get he's just gonna be like, oh, don't worry, he'll get saved at the last second. But the electricity jumps and it starts to crush him again. And then outside, there's kids walking by and rimshot bark, and you're like, oh, the kids will save him, right?
Yeah.
And no, the kids come and just open the door once
yeah.
it's done crushing him, and he's folded in half, clearly in back because his feet are facing the wrong way. So I mean, he would have been dead. He should have died.
At the very least.
Paralyzed.
He's paralyzed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That would be pretty depressing.
Yeah.
If now he's just scared. It's Ernest scared of learning how to walk again, or scared of dealing with his new handicap.
Come on. Oh man, I guess that's why they changed they didn't just change the title from Scared Stiff, they changed the whole plot line.
He's scared stiff.
Yeah.
Like his legs now.
Like his legs.
Because he's paralyzed.
Alright, yeah, so they open the thing and the cube pops out, and you just jump to the sheriff's department, and the mayor pulls up and he gets out and he tells the town sheriff who's walking out at the same time to go get Ernest to clean up the Hackmore residence because it violates codes. And just as he does that, Ernest drives by. Immediately, I don't understand how this town works. Like, why is a mayor telling a cop to order around a sanitation worker? Like, those are like 3-4 different departments. Like, I don't understand.
It must have to do with small town.
That's what I
about to
assume.
say, yeah. It must be like one of those small town kind of things where
I
you got to
guess.
continue going down the chain to get jobs done.
But to me, it just seems like because the mayor got the cop to tell Ernest what to do, that makes me assume that there was a day where Ernest had to interview for the sanitation department with the cop. Like, the cop had to interview him. Like, how well are you going to clean up things? And it was so crazy to me. And I also almost shit my pants when the mayor showed up, because I was like, dude, that's Rob Ford. I was like, that's definitely Canadian Mayor Rob Ford, without a doubt. I was shocked at like the weird future. So maybe this film actually is filmed in the future, in the past, and he really was the kid from Billy Madison. I don't know. I'm just saying it's a possibility now. So as Ernest drives by, we jump into the garbage truck, and Elizabeth, Kenny, who are the main girl we saw before, and the boy that defended her, Ernest and Rimshot are all in the truck. And Ernest explains to them that it may be against regulations for them to be in the truck because they popped up out because they were hiding when they passed it. That it may be against regulations, but he feels he can make his own rules, that's just not a good message to send to kids at all.
He's like, it's like being the captain of my own ship.
Well, even the kid mentions that his dad doesn't want him to be in the truck to begin with, so.
Yeah.
Which, throughout this movie, too, I was wondering, how are they all okay with Ernest just hanging out with their kids?
Well, I mean, they aren't, but they don't do anything about it. Like, they're just like, hey, were you hanging out with Ernest? Yeah. Why? Never, like, that's it. They're just like, hey, come on, what are you doing?
No, like, I don't know if it's like, well, he's just a town simpleton. What harm can he do? But it just makes me think of, like, Lenny from Mice and Men. Like, he's gonna end up murdering your little girl accidentally.
Exactly.
Like, oh, I accidentally put her in the garbage truck and crushed her. Sorry, I'm the town simpleton. I could not understand how they're just... I mean, they're not okay with them riding around in the garbage truck, but they're not like, dude, what the fuck? We told you to stop bringing our kids onto your garbage truck and luring them into the woods. Because that's basically what happens.
Yeah. It's, the whole time I'm watching this, I'm just like, this film can only exist in a time where pedophiles weren't a thing. Like, it's
Maybe
not...
that's why they changed the name from Ernest Scared Stiff to...
Ooh! No! All right. Yeah. So the sheriff pulls Ernest over, and he tells him, hey, I told you to go clean up the Hackmore place. And as he's doing that, the kids cough, and he's like, get out of that cab, you dumb kids. And then Ernest gives a bunch of excuses, like, I just took a cold pill, and, like, first off, that's the worst. The fact that he was like, I just took a cold pill, I can't go clean up. Like, you were just driving kids around in a garbage truck. You're gonna tell him that the reason you can't do your job is because you're on drugs. Like, good job.
Nigga, I'm high. What do you mean, don't drive these kids around?
But then the sheriff is just like, whatever, just if you want to keep your job, go over there and clean the place up. For some reason, it's right about here in the film where I feel that knowing that there's some sort of magical curse on Ernest kind of makes like all the slapstick be like, that's kind of fucked up.
It's not his fault.
It's not, you know, like he don't really deserve that shit. Like somebody's doing that to him. That's kind of I don't know why. It just ruins it for me. I'm just like, that poor bastard. Like I'm just watching a bad day happen. So he travels over to the Hackmore place, and he knocks on a very weird door. A door that I thought I was just like, it was just gonna eat him, like right there.
I just want to say, another reason why I hate this movie is because it reminded me of an awful movie. As he's walking through the Hackmore, like, their yard, there's all these weird sculptures, and it's all, like, garbage.
Yes.
But, like, it reminded me so much of, I don't know if you've ever seen it, Nothing But Trouble. It's a...
With the monkey and a girl? No.
Nope. This is Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase and...
Oh, with Dick Nose and... Is that what that is?
Yeah, he's got this, like, dick nose, and the Digital Underground is there for some reason.
Oh, yeah, okay.
and the
isn't
troll-
Doug,
John Candy plays a
John-
cop.
and the sister.
And the sister, yes.
and Dan Aykroyd's a judge for some reason.
Yup.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's also a very bad movie, so we'll probably do that one day.
Yeah, but I was just like, this reminds me so much of Nothing But Trouble.
There's
So
there's
much.
like a moat in the front yard too in that movie, right?
And so I paused it and I went on YouTube and I typed Nothing But Trouble and I was just like, ah!
Okay.
Because it just, no movie should make you think of Nothing But Trouble.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. So yeah, he knocks on the door and he tries to leave, but old lady Hackmore bursts out and tells him to leave. And then she starts yelling about the curse that the Worrell family name has on it. And he asks if maybe he should come back at a later time. And she just starts blasting him with not him, technically the screen, but with a flamethrower.
Yeah. She looked straight out of The Road Warrior.
Yes.
Like, she looked like...
Yeah. Total, like, Mad Max type of,
She could have just replaced Tina Turner in the third Road Warrior.
Yeah, like when they went there and I saw like all the, I was like, oh, well, that's technically art. Like I don't know why they have to confiscate it.
Yeah.
And then she came over with a flamethrower, and I noticed like the top half of her house was kind of burnt.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe this is a serious situation. We need to get under control.
But they send the garbage man.
Yeah.
This bitch is a hazard to public health and decency in the community. She's gonna burn down the forest and probably kill someone.
Well, maybe that's it. Maybe they're afraid that she's gonna actually do physical harm to them. So that's why they're like,
They
send
are-
the village idiot out there.
They are definitely afraid of that because several times they talk like when Ernest like, yeah, we built a treehouse over there, and they're like, you went on the Hackmore residence?
Yeah.
Why are you going out? Like they know that lady is out for blood. Anyone who comes on her property is getting their head cut off.
So maybe it's one of those things. Where it's like, let the dumbass get killed.
This idiot. Maybe this will finally solve all our problems.
Maybe he can actually do it.
Oh, possibly. Yeah, so then we cut to just some weird, like a haunted house that Kenny and Elizabeth and their friend Joe made.
And it's awful.
Well, they're 8 or whatever they are. I don't know. They're probably like 10, whatever. But it's terrible. And these bullies come by and just shake it to pieces. Literally, they shake it to pieces.
know.
It was great. It was terrible that that happened to him, but it was great that you could literally see someone shake a building until it fell apart. Like the walls just collapsed in on themselves.
These bullies were real pieces of shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
just, like, not like, oh, well, it's just kids being bullied. Like, no, they were genuine, like, pieces of garbage.
It was the original O'Doyle.
Yeah,
And they never get comeuppance.
well, I mean, that's just the typical, the mayor's kids.
Comeuppance. They
Well, one of them kind of does.
kinda, and then he gets uncomeuppance.
Well, that's the thing, is the bad thing happened, and the other one learned his lesson, and then the other one was like, oh, I was, wood for a second.
I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
I was wood.
I was wood.
That's
Such an odd lesson, but okay.
All right. What? Hey, wait, hang on. Why didn't they call it Ernest Scared? Oh, because Ernest wasn't the one scared into stiff woodness.
Ernest gets wood.
Ernest gets wood. Well, actually, it would be Ernest gets kids wood. Ernest gets the vote of children, I suppose. All right. So then Kenny jumps to Ernest's garage, and he tells them all about the bullies attacking and everything. And he starts going off on this tirade about Botswana and the Ottoman Empire.
And he's doing it in all of these personas, which I guess they're all like, oh, I remember that one from Hey Vern, it's Ernest. I remember that one from Ernest Goes. Like, they must be all the, like, classic
Okay,
Ernest
because I was wondering, I
personas.
was like, does he carry a bag of costumes, or does he have multiple personalities, and each little visual is like a section of his brain and that personality? just
Well,
going
they
off?
reference multiple personalities later on.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine the kid stood there while Ernest changed
that
costumes
was what I
mid-sentence.
was wondering.
But he was very close to blackface.
When
He was the Ottoman Empire, he was like,
Oh,
he was,
shit,
he
yeah.
was dark brown.
Oh, wow, I didn't even think. Wow!
Yeah. Oh, man.
Holy, I guess it's because he was portraying a Mongol. I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah, no,
But,
he-
yeah.
No, Ottoman Empire, that's Middle East. He's like, I'm pretty close to Africa.
Yeah.
He's like, well, it's not racist because I don't have the big lips. So,
But he was dressed like a typical Mongolian because he had the big handlebar mustache and the metal hat and
yeah, but
that's still
I was offended.
no. What you say is true. I'm just saying it's weird because that's not even like those are two different places. Like, I don't know why.
No, he is dressed like a Mongolian.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, he is dressed like Attila the Hun
Yeah.
from Bill and Ted's.
yeah, that's
Excellent
what I'm
Adventure.
saying. It was just except also black.
Yeah.
Whatever. Maybe that's a redneck thing. I don't know. Mongolian. Just that's it. If you're Mongolian, you're just black Asian.
Where's that guy from? Ottoman Empire? That sounds black Asian to me.
From the Ottoman Empire.
Is that still around anymore? What do I look like? Some kind of history nerd?
I think I read on like Tumblr that the Ottoman Empire was still around the last time, like someone was hanged.
Yeah, because the Ottoman Empire only ended in like 19...
Just after World War I.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1920, something like that, yeah. Wow. Think about that, the last empire was only that long.
I guess that's why he kept talking about it because he kept referencing like 50s kind of like types of things. Like he kept doing John Wayne and stuff.
The kid did John Wayne.
Yeah.
Which, at first, I was like, how would this kid even understand what a John Wayne is?
Yeah, that's why I was confused too. I was like, why is the kid do like?
But then I guess he picked it up from Ernest.
That's what I assumed. Is that
But
was,
if
What's that?
hypothetically, I'm a parent and I find out my kid is hanging out with the garbage man, and the kid starts talking like John Wayne, I'm like, where'd you learn to talk like that? And he's like, the garbage man. I'm like, that's it. We're moving.
But still, then once again, is it then just Ernest acting this out with no costumes in front of the kid, or is it just moments in Ernest's brains with costumes on?
Ernest is just picturing himself in blackface.
He's just having a mini stroke, drooling from the mouth, and the kid's just standing there.
No, because it keeps going inner shots with a kid like smiling and laughing, like
He's laughing at her.
has this stroke. Oh man, this kid's the devil. Holy crap! All right, so as he's doing the whole costume change thing, he's changing in between like everything: a Mongolian, an old lady, like an Australian,
Like
I think, and it's like a war general, and I don't know what else, a whole bunch of things. And then after all of that, I think the stroke rubs off on Kenny because he just goes, you know what we need? A treehouse! And for some reason, the jack that Ernest was using just wasn't meant to be used as a jack, and it flies out from under the car and just bullets itself into the mayor's rear window.
And then is that when he gets fired?
No,
No,
surprisingly, shooting the mayor with a car jack isn't enough to get fired from your job. What's worse?
Wait, whose garage were they in?
Supposedly his. I have no idea.
Whose? Ernest?
Ernest, I guess.
Why was the mayor parked outside of... Wait a minute!
I don't know. Maybe it was like a town.
What is it? I
municipal-
think it was like the town garage or something like that
Okay,
for
yeah.
just like the garbage truck.
That would make a little more sense. But regardless, even after the thing shoots and almost kills the mayor, he goes, direct hit, and still does the multiple personality things. Like, you just almost murdered a man. What's wrong with you? All right, so next we jump to the woods, and Ernest and the kids are looking for a tree, and it's just basically Ernest first off, he's still talking about the Ottoman Empire, or Botswana, or whatever, and I love it because basically the other kids there weren't from the last scene, so they don't get the reference, but like we do, so that's funny that some guy's just having like a small like case of amnesia. Like he's just talking about, he's having a flashback, going to the woods talking about Botswana, and the kid's like, is this guy okay? Should we really be using him as a leader to go into wilderness? But apparently it's all fine. And he's knocking on trees and trying to find a tree for a good tree house. Eventually they find a swampy area. They go in the swampy area. I think it's funny because Ernest goes right in. The kids, well, two of the kids, Elizabeth and Joe, are kind of like, I don't know if we should go in there. And Kenny's behind them, going like, come on, go ahead. So at this point, I'm just trying to like, oh, Ernest is gonna murder them, and Kenny's his helper.
Yup,
I get it
he's the
now.
conflict.
He's the one who's like, no, like, I'm a kid like you guys. It's totally fine. They get into the woods. What up? The mask and the hat comes off. Kenny's a 45-year-old man. He's a midget.
He's
pulls
got
up a
Gary
knife.
Coleman's disease.
I've established on a time machine that's not a real thing. I don't want to have to clarify that again. That's not. He has a congenital liver disease that, combined with steroids that he needed to combat it, stunted his growth. I think that was it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, you guys don't listen to Time Machine? Come
I
on!
got that one, I guess.
Thanks, I feel like I'm a dick
listening
now.
to this. But
Yeah.
then explain The Orphan to me then.
The Orphan?
Yeah, the movie The Orphan.
I don't know, because Emmanuel Lewis, which is the same thing you referenced in that episode,
Wait.
which is racist, I should point out. Emmanuel Lewis they don't know what's wrong with him.
So so The Orphan has Emmanuel
Oh, so
Lewis
he's not a
disease.
midget then?
No, Emmanuel Lewis has some strange, there's something where he doesn't have, like, whatever, midgetitis or whatever.
Right. Dwarfism.
Dwarfism. That's what it is. Listen, you know I have a long history of calling things by the wrong name.
All right, I apologize. Not Gary Coleman's disease, Emmanuel Lewis disease.
No, because that's not a thing. Because he apparently doesn't, they can't find anything wrong with him. So they can't be like, oh, the reason you're not growing is because of no, they can't be like, this is Gary Coleman's disease, or excuse me, Emmanuel Lewis disease, because they haven't found anything to call it that.
Emmanuel Lewis condition.
Fine, whatever. That's fine enough. So, in the deep woods, Ernest gets everything from medical terms to pioneer pathfinding techniques dangerously wrong. Which he says, oh, the worst thing we can get out here is Dutch elm bite, which is a reference to the bite of a Dutch elm beetle, which in itself is a reference to the fact that Dutch elm beetles carry a disease, but the disease doesn't hurt the trees so much as the bite they produce as they chew through the wood. And I looked that up just because I was like, there's no fucking way that he got any of that right. And no, he didn't. They aren't a combination of either Dutch or elm trees, which is the only tree that can get affected by that disease. I can't believe I looked all that up. God damn it, Ernest. Oh, yeah. Also, I don't know like how he knows that, because when I typed this into Google, the first response was a Canadian newspaper article from 1978. So I don't know why he brought that up. It's such a far-fetched thing for him to talk about. Eventually they find the perfect tree. The kids, they seem reluctant in everything they do in this film.
Yeah.
Everything that happens in this film, they're like, I don't know if we should do that. All right, let's do it. And Ernest takes a nails a board to a tree. When he does that, the voiceover of the old-timey Warwell people show up, not show up, but it plays, the voiceover plays, and it goes down into the roots of the tree, which I guess are apparently hollow.
Yeah.
And you see that like the roots rustle around, and then we jump to old lady Hackmore, who just seems nervous for some reason. Like she just kind of like goes, and then it jumps back to the kids, who are surprisingly almost done building a treehouse, despite the fact that they had to lift things like the front half of a car
And
like full chains of fence.
again, the fact that they fucking built this cool tree house and...
I wouldn't call it cool. I'd call it dangerous.
Well, yeah, obviously, it's incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
But as a kid, it's a pretty fucking cool tree house.
Yeah. I guess.
Maybe my problem again is that I'm more and more of a cynical asshole don't listen, if anybody out there is a future filmmaker or writer or you're right, don't get kids' hopes up that they'll ever do anything that cool or unique as a kid.
no.
Yeah.
Don't tell kids though they're ever going to
not-
be a hero.
No.
Or not as a kid anyway. Like, let them. Maybe you'll do something neat as an adult once in your life,
No.
but probably not.
The second you put the front half of a car in a tree, police will show up to your house and fine you.
Yeah.
You will never be able to just build a tree house on some old lady's property because she has nothing to do and will sue your parents.
So this is when the dick bullies show up, right?
Well, actually, just before that, suddenly it's daylight, which means Ernest basically kidnapped a couple of kids.
Yup.
And old lady Matt Hackmore comes running in there and just kind of like, oh, why'd you have to have all the trees in all the world? Why'd you pick this one? And then she runs away, and the kids are like, I can't believe she left her house. Yeah. And Ernest is like, I'm going to go talk to her. And he runs away to go talk to her. Then, this is when the bullies show up after that. And they show up, and I love it because I don't know how they found the treehouse. Are we
Yeah.
supposed to believe that they followed them from the...
No
they
way.
broke down the haunted house, followed him to Ernest's, but just lurked, and then followed them through the woods, then waited outside the swampy area until they finished the treehouse, then wandered in? Like, I don't...
My assumption was that these bullies literally do nothing except fuck with these.
That's it.
kids.
That's all they do all day.
So, like, the whole day, they're like, where are they? And they just look and look and look, and they're like, we found them! And they just start picking up rocks and throwing them.
Well, actually, technically, they find the treehouse and go, I wonder where those kids are or punks are, and just start. They just start hugging at their treehouse. They don't even know the kids are there. They're like, I think this is their treehouse. Let's just destroy it.
Imagine it wasn't their treehouse and it was someone else's.
Secret government installation. Kids show up, start hucking rocks at it. But yeah, the kids show up the kids pop out of the treehouse and they start rallying together. Which apparently that whole time they were building stuff, they were building like just defenses to fight
like-
those kids, but not like useful defenses where it's like, hey, go away. They're just like hucking dog food and pizzas at them.
It's cat food because there's a cartoon picture of a cat.
Okay.
And whole pizzas.
Oh yeah, and if you notice too, they're like those kids should have gotten like burned too because she was like, here's a pizza, and she was kind of like juggling it like it was hot.
And the bullies don't even give a fuck. They're
They
just-
get lots of food thrown on
They're
them.
just getting hit in the face with cat food. And at one point, the whole pizza hits the kid, and he's just like, "It's a fucking pizza."
fucking 9-year-old boy was like, the fuck do you think I was gonna do, dude?
Dude, you threw a loaf of bread at me. Like, that's,
You didn't diagram that shit out? What are you...
Which, if you have a full pie pizza, why are you throwing it and not eating it?
oh my god.
I don't know. I don't understand.
Or do you really have that much to spare on
The
you?
worst part was, it wasn't even they're like, let's just make a pizza to throw at them. There were toppings on the pizza.
Yeah.
They put like green peppers on it and stuff. Like they literally just went into their parents' like refrigerator and went, oh, I hate this vegetable. Let's use that. It's just like broccoli and cucumber, like everything they won't eat. So yeah, the food stuff just it keeps getting thrown at the Murdoch boys, and eventually they just go, we're gonna get you for this later, and just I love it too because they say that and they just walk away. They don't run away. They just saunter like, well, let's go see what's over in the clearing over there. And then we immediately cut to the treehouse, and it's night again, which means the kids have been in it for a full 2 days, I guess, full 24 hours. They've just been at the treehouse. I guess a full, probably more than that, they've been with Ernest. Like, just a whole day where the parents have not seen their kids. I can't believe that it was hours later on in the film when the kids disappear, and they're like, oh, I just saw my kid! Where's my kid? But right now, full day, and the mom's like, oh, I went shopping, I didn't know where you were.
Yeah. I just figured you out with the garbage.
I just thought, yeah, whatever. So Ernest shows up, and he tells Oh, and the kids tell him about the Murdoch boys attacking them.
And this is where he's like, oh, that bitch old lady Hackmore is crazy. She just told me not to put my hands on the tree and say these exact words.
Yes.
Which everybody in this film is just stupid. Everybody,
yeah.
everybody in this film
Yes.
is just dumb as bricks.
Yeah, the fact that nobody in the town has, like, the awareness to just go, what if we each take $1 from everybody in town and give it to Ernest to live in the woods? And he'll, because, I mean, what are the other options? Kicking a man who literally hasn't caused any real intentional problems to anyone out of town? What are we going to do? Kill him? Lock him? We can't do that. So, look, here's $10,000. Just live in the woods away from us, Ernest, please.
Hey, we bought you a coach bus
Yeah.
ticket. We want you to see Wyoming.
I don't like
Yeah.
Why does this ticket say one way? Well, it's because you're only going one way, Ernest. Oh, right, yeah, trains travel in one direction. I got it.
Even like old lady Hackmore, who she's clearly out of her mind. She's like, oh, they're at the cursed tree. Ernest, whatever you do, don't say
Yes!
I, Ernest P. Worrell,
Why did
demand the troll rise from. Like, she had to tell him exactly what to say to free the troll. And she said, don't say this exact combination of words that you would never ever say if I did not.
While
warn
you have your hand on the tree. Yeah.
Again, if they would have killed Ernest in the garbage truck and just let him be a ghost, then the only like suspension of disbelief we have is that ghosts exist. Okay, I can
ghosts
fine.
exist.
Ghosts exist in this. No, it's a town full of idiots who look down on the biggest idiot who built a fucking magic garbage truck that's pretty complex machinery. Also, he has mini strokes.
They don't even care. Like, whatever. So lightning strikes, and the kids run away, and Ernest is scared because he's alone. And this is when the troll shows up, because he put his hand on the thing, and it started disturbing it, and they all came out of the tree. And Ernest claims he knows things like Kung Fu, Chow Mein, and that he saw Hulkamania 3 times. Once in slow-mo. How do you see Hulkamania in slow? That's a movement. You can't see an idea in slow motion. Like, when he said that, I immediately went, maybe there was a show called Hulkamania that I just didn't know about. Because Hulk Hogan was pretty popular.
I had to rewind because I couldn't. I was like,
Oh, would he
wait,
just
Hulk?
fast talk through it?
What? Because he's like, I know Kung Fu, Chow Mein, and I saw Hulkamania 3 times. I was like, did he say Hulkamania? He couldn't have said Hulkamania.
Yeah, it didn't make
You
any
can't
sense,
see Hulkamania. I was like, brother, you can't see Hulkamania. Hulkamania is all around us, brother.
Yeah.
Like,
It's an intangible idea. What are you,
Yeah.
what are you doing, Ernest? And then he kicks over a cooler, which is filled with milk, and the troll disappears.
and at this point, I was like, motherfucker, if the troll's weakness is milk, I am gonna flip the fuck out.
Why? Like, what?
Because that's the fucking stupidest. What? I assume that the troll is a mammal. Just be like
Well, no, I guess technically it's,
a reptile?
I don't know. Like,
What the fuck is. He's just super lactose intolerant. He's so allergic to milk that it makes him die and wither and disappear.
I guess because only mothers can produce milk. And
Yeah,
there's-
that was the whole selling bit.
But they got that wrong. Was mother's care wasn't milk? It was the unconditional love.
Oh.
It was the whole riddle at the end. Which then, why the hell did milk even work?
Yeah.
That's like on the only thing that can work is mother's care. Oh, so just rub a vagina on his face, right? It's the same thing. Only mothers can have vaginas there, so that's so. Got it. Good. Down pat.
Just rub.
Yeah, that's it. Just anything close to. Just next time a troll comes to your house, just take out a bunch of panty shields and just throw them at him, and he'll run away. It's the same thing.
Just show the troll your pussy.
Yeah, he will floor it. Away, not towards. All right, then we jump to the kids who were somewhere else, and the kids split up because they're all late, and apparently they live just in different directions. Like, I guess old lady Hackmore lives in the dead center of
That's
town.
what I was thinking.
Because I don't know where they all live. They had to split up that way. 3 kids all went in separate directions.
I was like, oh, the woods, like, okay, she's the crazy old lady at the edge of town. No, she's the crazy old lady in the center of town, in the creepy
They
woods.
want to build a highway and renovate town hall, but no, she's smack in the middle of town, and they can't do anything. They have to build around her. So yeah, Joe runs off, and he gets scared. He's looking around. Eventually, he gets pulled into this mud pit, and it seems to be his hands pulling him in the mud pit. I didn't imagine that an actual hand is pulling him in.
I didn't see that.
You didn't see a hand pull him in?
I just thought the kid was an idiot.
Because that's what I didn't get is that I saw a hand pulling him into the mud pit.
I didn't.
And then he goes, no, help! And then you hear the Ernest voice, I got you, kid, or whatever. And it looks up, and it's the troll mimicking him. And I was like, so wait a minute. Like, was the troll under the pit, and then he teleported above him, and also got mud off of him, and doesn't need to breathe because he was submerged under mud? Like, that was when I was like, wait, how does this work? And if he has teleportation, why would he use it constantly?
I thought the kid was just like, la, 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 and he trips and falls, and he's just like a little bitch. And he's just like, help, I'm falling, help, I'm stuck, I can't climb up. And then, it's like, oh, here I am, I'm Ernest, here to save you, Vern. And no, it's a troll. Like, I thought it was just bad luck on that kid's part, but. But yeah, the troll turns the kid into wood.
Oh, yeah.
And shrinks him into a little doll-sized wood boy.
Yeah, like a 12-inch action figure. Except there's not much action
There's
going
no
on. Yeah.
pose. It's not even a posable action
No,
figure.
it's just wood. And then we jump to the sheriff's house, and Ernest is excitedly banging on the door, trying to get the sheriff's attention, to tell him all about the troll he saw and all this stuff. And the sheriff's like, dude, you were just dreaming. Go home. And they just pushes him out of his house and closes the door on him. We go back to the tree house, and the troll puts the wooden kid doll into the tree, and it causes these pods to grow from the tree. And he says, grow, my children.
And then Ernest heads over to Old Lady Hackmore's place, and he's like, oh no, I did it, I released the troll.
Yes. Lady Hackmore's just like, oh, well, then the curse has been fulfilled, and we'll see you. And she immediately tries to go back inside her house, and he follows her inside. And she's kind of just talking about I fought werewolves, and I prepared for this, and blah, blah, blah. And she's mumbling, I don't know. The camera is focusing on Ernest, who is apparently just scared of all the weird stuff she has in her house. Lady Hackmore goes over to a bookshelf and takes out a book. It has the story of the troll and his history in there. And she reads that it has to be a descendant or whatever that has to kill him, the troll that is. And she convinces Ernest that he has to do it, and Ernest's like, yeah, it's my redneck destiny or something like that. Yeah, so once they came out and said redneck, and I was like, oh, that's clearly why I don't like this, because I don't identify myself as that.
Yes, it was, he considered himself the redneck hope.
The redneck, instead of the great white hope, like
Yeah,
the redneck hope.
The Great Redneck Hope. Yeah, I wrote that down. Motherfucker, Great Redneck Hope.
Yeah, because as soon as I saw that, I was just like, that was your selling point, to go around me like, I'm the redneck hope. I was just like, terrible. This is not a good message to be sending about the South, that they're happy to be rednecks,
But they are.
Yeah, but it's...
I mean, not to judge, but they're pretty happy about being white trash pieces of shit.
Yeah, I've never.
They're perfectly content, like with their trailers and their NASCAR
I'm
and
pretty
their.
sure they know exactly what they're doing. I just heard that the Here Comes Honey Boo Boo got canceled because the mother started dating a registered sex offender.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
but
I
and I'm sure she's like, nah, it's fine. Jimmy John just likes to touch children sometimes. Whatever.
Say chillin'? It's like instead of children, you just
Chillin'.
I like to touch the chillin' sometimes. It's the greatest southern pronunciation anyone ever heard. You took a 7-letter word, made it into 3. Chillin', CLN. There's a couple of chillin', coming out there now. Also, apparently, rednecks think that cha is just the letter C. I don't. That's how I spelled that word. I just realized.
They're not educated.
That's what I hear anyway. All right, so he decides it's his duty, and apparently his duty is to literally run through the streets with a megaphone, just screaming, "There's a troll! There's a troll! You gotta run the troll! Oh God, that troll! Everybody run the troll!" The citizens obviously are just confused and then ignore him as they do every other time. When that doesn't work, well, I shouldn't say it doesn't work, but while he's doing that, he runs into the Tulips Brothers store, which I'm not sure if that's the actual name of the store or not, but these are just like the kind of southern con men of the movie.
Not of the movie, of the Ernest franchise.
Oh, yeah?
These are like recurring characters. I only found out because, again, I watched a little bit of Hey Vern, It's Ernest.
Okay.
Yeah, they're in that. They're like recurring characters. Just same shtick where like, oh, we're a salesman. I'm gonna sell you this high-powered tulip cannon, right, brother? And then one guy's just silent and just nod. Yeah, it's the same.
Huh. Yeah, well, he runs in and they're filming a commercial, but like you said, low deals and then bad jokes. What does a fat puppy hate a fast car? Or so
Yeah, it's.
Ernest runs in and they stopped with the recording and he's like, "Oh, there's trolls and I found a troll." And he's like, "Well, you're lucky because I was in the World War II troll infantry, whatever, the 1st Battalion troll defense," whatever he says.
And at this point, I'm like, he's just taking advantage of
a
retarded kid, basically. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, but then they have a bunch of troll
stuff.
So I'm like, wait a minute.
Was he like... You can tell, like, by his demeanor and the way he smiles that he wasn't. Also through real history, that there is no troll infantry. But then he has that stuff, so you're like, well, there is a troll in this universe, so maybe...
What did the Nazis use trolls in this universe?
I know there's a lot of lore about how they tried to use, like the undead. Yeah, all that stuff.
Or maybe it's one of those because, like, how the girl had the report about how it's an urban legend that the town has all this thing. Maybe that it's kind of like one of those, like, tourists come. The tourists come around like, "Oh, get your troll be gone."
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense than the fact that we just assume this takes place in an alternate universe where there was an actual World War II troll battalion.
Look, I genuinely had no idea there'd be real logic in this film.
You know what's funny? As you two are going through this, I was thinking about it. I was like, wait. No, wait a minute. There's an easier way for all this.
We would have been duped in that. We would have been like, well, maybe he wasn't part of the troll. I'll take 10. And Danny's over there going, "No, guy, he's a con man." What's wrong with you? So yeah, like we just said, he has all the stuff. So he sells him all the stuff. And then we jump to the Elizabeth's house. Or at least outside her house.
Yeah.
And Kenny shows up and he goes, "Have you seen Joe?" And she's like, "Oh, maybe, the troll got him." And they're like, "Don't say that." And he's like, "It's probably at the treehouse." And they're like, "Let's go." And they run to the treehouse.
I'm pretty sure they're like, "Have you seen Joe? He didn't go home last
Yeah.
night." Yet, there's not like a search party looking. They're the only ones who seem concerned.
Yeah, I know. I'm. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure the words are, "Have you seen Joe? He didn't come home last night." And then Elizabeth goes, "Yeah, the troll got him." And then Kenny's like, "Nah, he's at the treehouse. Let's go." Which technically, everything about that conversation is right. The troll did get him. He is at the treehouse.
He did not go home last night.
Yeah, he didn't go home last night. Everything that was all truthful. We go back to the tulip store and they're finalizing the deal, and then some more bad jokes. And they're like, "Oh, what about the CD? Not the CD, the record full of troll love songs." And I'm like, "Oh, yep, I'll take that too." And they sell it to him
for like $1,200.
Yeah, that was the part where I didn't understand. I was like, not then. It wasn't like a scene or two later, because after that we go to the treehouse and the kids see the wooden figure in the treehouse, and they go, "I think that might be him." And they hear a noise and they run. And then we go to the Hackmore place, and Ernest shows up with all the troll fighting stuff, so that confirms he did buy it.
Yep.
Which I was like, how the hell does this guy have $1,000 just laying around that he can just buy all that stuff? Like, no problem. Not even like, I have to hang on, I have to go to the bank now. Just, yeah, here it is.
But realistically, what do you think he spends money on? They have to pay him. What is he...
I don't know. I mean, realistically, actually, it probably would be something of a lot because he's apparently building crazy contraptions like that.
Yeah.
That's not cheap. He has a dog he has to take care of.
What I assume as a garbage man, he probably just fucking rummages everything. So he probably doesn't buy much of the stuff he
At
has.
the time, he's in a small town. Like, there's not like an industrial waste. Like, he's not going to find, like, I assume, like, large spools of copper wire or... Like, I can't imagine there's so much going on in the town that he'd really be able to find... Like, everything he uses, I feel...
Yeah, but he probably goes to, like, the city dump that's been there for...
Man, this guy, that's like a lifestyle choice. That's not even like, well, it's just sitting here, I'll take it. He drives to another town to pick through garbage.
No, he drives to their town's dump. Where else would their garbage
But
go?
I don't know. I don't understand how sanitation works, so I assume they just burn all the
Somehow
garbage.
he affords all that shit.
Yeah, that's the point. I don't know how he afforded it all.
But I will say this. So they find Wooden Joey, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, he gets the
Ernest
house.
he shows up with all the troll fighting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In, like, the next scene, he doesn't have any of his troll fighting
He
stuff.
shows up to Hackmore's house and then just gets naked. I didn't get it.
He's like, oh, shit, weren't you Catwoman? Oh,
I'm
let's
thinking
get
about that the whole time. Yeah, well, we go outside of the house, and the kids show up, and we see that the troll followed them there. And I thought is the weirdest part in the film, where the troll follows the kids to the house, looks at them, sees them go inside, and then just runs off to the right and grabs the kid off a skateboard and turns him to wood real quick.
Yeah.
It was just so weird. It was like watching someone right in the moment of ADD. Just like, there's those kids going into the house, skateboard! Ran away and he grabbed the kid, turned him into wood. So he had another one. I don't understand why that wasn't his plan the whole time. Like, why was he chasing those kids specifically?
Why not just grab random kids?
Why not? Because he does it again later. Just grabs a random kid off the street.
Well, I guess because, like, he's a troll.
Actually, technically, every kid he grabs off the street he gets because he's following those kids.
Maybe he wants someone who knows Ernest, kind of like be like a jab at him.
I just assumed he's a troll. He doesn't know where to find kids. So he's like, oh,
He seems to know where to find Kenny.
I'll just get these kids. And every time he's like, oh, well, shit, I'll just grab this one on the way.
Teach a man to fish, and he eats for a lifetime. That's
Teach a
Teach
child
a-
predator.
Oh, wait, what did I just say? Hang on. Let's have a seat right there.
So is this is where Ernest
well-
goes to set up the troll trap?
Yeah, a little bit before that, though, is the kids inside. They tell him about the wooden doll, and then old lady Hackmore rambles about the limerick and the pods, all that stuff.
He's
And
got to
then-
get 4 more children by the next day, right? She's
Yeah,
like,
by,
she's got to get 4 more children.
Halloween.
Yeah, and she
by
scares him
Halloween,
because,
which
they
is
said a heart of a
tomorrow.
child, so we need a child's heart. Ah!
Yeah.
And then jump to the park, and that's when they set up the troll trap, and the kids are like, don't worry, your hearts are fine. It's going to be a last resort.
Which I just want to say now, because we come back to the troll trap later. The troll trap is literally, it's like troll motel, vacancy.
Yeah, it's a bunch of
free
words.
children
that-
inside.
I'm not even assuming the troll can read. Like, who's
Yeah.
to say he can read?
Yeah.
Well, that's why they had the little baby doll hanging.
With all those hooks sticking out of it.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
You notice that? Yeah, it had a bunch of giant fishing hooks sticking out
Oh,
of
no,
it.
yeah, I didn't notice that.
Oh, man. I thought that was the worst part, just someone had to stick giant fishing hooks through a baby doll.
And this is where Kenny's like, okay, Liz, beat it, because me and Ernest will handle the troll fighting.
Yeah, he doesn't say it so misogynistically, but yeah, that pretty much is what
Yeah,
happened.
he's not like, beat it, Toots, we got this.
Wait, Toots, your vagina's gonna get in the way. We're all gonna get caught in it.
He'll just bleed on everything.
So, yeah, he's like, just leave it to us, don't worry, you stay safe. And she kisses him and runs inside, and he's shocked. And then at the treehouse, the troll has another wooden kid.
It's the skateboard kid.
Oh, yeah, well, he puts him in the thing. Then we go to Kenny's house, because Ernest drops him off. And we see the troll just come out of the ground, which I'm like, also, he can tunnel now?
I was
Like,
wondering that too.
I didn't like. I hate when they just go, "Oh yeah, also this is a power I have." Like, I understand there are things you can do we haven't learned yet, but like, why are you doing anything else? Like, if you could just tunnel through town and no one would ever see you, like he uses such haphazard. I don't understand why he then chases the kid through the streets. Like, why? Whatever. I feel I'd be able to use his resources better than he is using, is what I'm saying.
It's kind of like Superman. Superman has all these powers. He's like, oh no, I can also do this. I
Yeah.
also have heat vision, but only when it's convenient. I also have
But like
frostbite.
every time there's a problem, like Superman, like I think that's the biggest reason I can't get behind Superman is because he is intentionally a dick. Like, I hate it whenever he'll show up and he'll just like float there with his arms crossed, and then people will shoot bullets at him and he'll just kind of let them bounce off, and then he'll and blow his way. I'm like, you just super speed them into jail 5 seconds ago. Stop wasting our time.
You know how many people you could be helping
Yeah.
while just taunting them like a dick?
The Flash did it already. What are you doing? He drops Kenny off, and Kenny's just kind of looking around nervously, going into his house, and then the Murdoch boys jump out in troll costumes.
Jump out of the boat in his backyard.
Yeah.
Which means these motherfuckers were just hanging out for God knows how long.
In costumes, full
In
body
costumes.
costumes. and then it gets even worse because they have him down on the ground, they're over him. His mom bulls up, and they run away, and she's just like, where have you been? Like, not even like, are you okay? And I saw those children were just, on top of you, trying to hurt you. No, she's like, where have you been? And he's like, I gotta run. I gotta go help Ernest. Which, I don't understand why. Why did Ernest drop him off at his house if he was just gonna go help him?
Because Kenny had to go get his dad. So whatchamacallit, because
Yeah.
Ernest wanted the sheriff to meet up with him. Still no sense, but
I don't know why Ernest didn't just wait for 5 seconds for him to go in and go, Dad, are you here? No? Hey, Ernest, he's not here. Let me come
Wouldn't
with
they
you.
know immediately when they pull up and don't see the sheriff's car?
Yeah. Well, I guess no, because I don't, I think he drops him off, on the corner down the block, because Kenny kind of walks for a while, I feel like. I feel like he walks, in a place that's not his front lawn. I feel like he's just kind of walking down the street for a while, uh-oh, I hope I don't get jumped. That's how I feel, anyway.
Then we cut to Elizabeth's house, and
Yes.
she's like, no, I don't want to do Halloween shit because I'm scared. And her mom's like, hey, don't be a bitch.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah,
Halloween's about fun.
That is the exact tone she's giving her. She's like, it's supposed to be fun. You're too old to be scared of things. Just presumption and the mom is throwing
And
out.
Elizabeth is legit like, can you check under my bed? And her
Yeah.
mom's like, shut up.
Yeah.
exactly, kind of like
your
a whole
dumb mouth.
stop crying the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, and then the mom leaves. She's like, let's go. Just get ready. And she leaves, and Elizabeth is just like, oh, there's something under my bed. Goes to look. Goes, oh, it's just a teddy bear. Okay. And
grabs
pulls up,
it,
grabs
hugs
yeah.
it,
Comes back up, and the troll's in bed with her.
spooning with her.
Yeah.
How did he get there? Teleportation.
Teleportation. Yeah. Why wouldn't you use it constantly? Either that or he tunneled through her, because I'm pretty sure she was on the second floor, so
Yeah.
tunneled through.
Teleportation. It must have been.
It had to have been.
Which, even stranger, did her parents not hear her yell?
They must have just not cared. They must have been like, just shut up. It's not that
Oh
bad.
my God.
It's a day, you child. Whatever. But cut to the Ernest. He's in the park setting just like a really oversized, like a bear trap. Just really big. Like a troll trap, I guess. And he's explaining how Rimshot's going to be bait, and Rimshot's dressed up like a Cub Scout. And he gets the thing open, and he's like, "Give me a stick, Ramshot, give me a stick." And then he gets flung. He either gets flung away because or caught and then crushed. You can pick because it goes away. It kind of sounds like he got flung away.
Oh, I assumed he got crushed.
Oh yeah, I thought I heard a but who knows? Just show that Kenny. We cut to Kenny. He's just driving down the road on his bike. Stops for a second, looks around, keeps going, just to let you know, yeah, he's still in the film. He's still part of it.
Then we have Ernest driving in his truck, somehow done with his bear trap ordeal, and he's talking on his little radio to the Tulip Brothers. They're putting up billboards, and he's like, "This is Troll Hunter 1 to Troll Base Alpha."
Yeah, total, just random
Just
CB names.
dumb shit, yeah.
And he lets him know, go to the treehouse. And the troll you see is nearby listening to Ernest. The Tulip brothers, I don't know why they just decide to leave. Like, I don't know if they're supposed to be Ernest's backup or what. But they just go, yeah, we're done half-ass putting up this billboard. Let's go. Ernest decides to go inside to the nearby convenience store to buy snacks. When he goes inside, the troll follows him. And as he's talking to the clerk sees the troll, starts freaking out. Ernest thinks he's playing charades because he's, kind of just flabbergasted. And he pulls out a gun, which causes Ernest to put his hands up and spill the milk he's holding, which causes the troll to run away. So that's definitely milk. We got it. Now we know it's milk.
Yeah.
And the clerk just faints. Back to the road, and we see Kenny, who rides up on a friend in costume. And he's like, have you seen Elizabeth? And the kid's like, what's your costume? We're supposed to be going to a thing now. He hears Elizabeth's voice coming from a tube. And when Kenny goes to look, he sees nothing. He turns around, and the troll has his friend and turns him into wood. And then Kenny runs away. Jump to the sheriff's department. The sheriff is trying to calm down a whole group of people about their missing kids.
Finally.
And also uncollected trash, one guy.
I forgot that guy. Dude, my garbage. I don't care about you kids. My garbage hasn't been picked up in 2 days.
I'm gonna host a party soon. I think that's what he was yelling about. I have guests coming over. Like what? Like where's this party taking place that you can't go?
Let me just
put this garbage. Let me just put this in this corner of the garage where no one. Like what? How much garbage does that man produce? So yeah, he's trying to calm down the people about the missing kids. The wife shows up and goes, "Oh, our son's missing too." And he's like, "Look, did any of you check the school yet? Where the kids are supposed to be?" And they're like, "Oh, no, we haven't." So the whole group goes to the school.
Yeah, they did go in like it's a whole
gaggle of them just traveling to the school. So then we jump to the road. Mm-hmm. Like it's just another shot of Kenny, and yeah, he's still running away from the troll. And he thinks he's away, and he turns around. Boom! Teleportation, troll's back.
Yup.
He runs across the street, almost gets hit by a milk truck, right? He gets chastised by the milkman, his real father. Remember that good old joke?
Yeah.
He's the milkman's like, hey, watch where you're going, kid, and you in the costume. Be careful. Yeah. And then he drives away, and then and
the troll
disappears again. Yeah. Jump to the garbage truck where Ernest's just driving around when the troll alarm goes off.
Yep.
And I wasn't sure. Did he somehow have the trap in the park rigged up to a remote device?
Yeah, I assumed.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if that's what happened or if he was just driving around with the troll trap on the front of the vehicle.
No.
Picked him up like some sort of weird, like a street sweeper.
No, he definitely, it was rigged because then he's like, oh, troll alarm. And he goes, picks it up, and he shows up. He's like, guys, I got it. Just as the mayor shows up complaining about his own missing children.
Yes. And he's like, oh, come on and look. And they're like, I don't have time for this. And then Kenny's like, no, there's a troll. Let's go look at it. And I thought it was crazy because they're like, go away. What are you talking about? And then Kenny's like, no, Dad, there's really a troll. And he's like, all right, let's go see. Gets up and goes to walk out.
Draws his
and
gun.
Immediately puts his, he doesn't even get out of the building before his hand's on his gun. And I was like, whoa! Like, you're first off, your kid's right there.
Yeah.
Let alone you don't even know what the hell's going on. Like, I was like, wow, that guy was really quick to go to his gun.
Well, you gotta shoot first and ask questions later.
That's how rednecks do it.
I guess so, yeah. So they go outside, and they'll go ahead and open it up.
And
go,
actually,
before he opens it,
the dude draws his gun and points it.
Yeah. But before that happens too, Ernest goes, "Want me to crush it?"
Yeah.
And he goes, he just wanted to just crush it right there. And they go, no, let's open it up. They open it up, and it's the Murdoch boys dressed as trolls, and they come out like, because I don't know
how did they fall for it? How did they?
Yeah.
What? How just?
First off, that's another thing is not only how dumb are they for it to have fallen, but how because two of them got in, which means one of them.
No, simultaneously they must have both. What happens if we jump in here?
I would say that it was somehow one got in the trap without triggering it, and then another one got in, and that triggered it. Which makes them extra dumb for one to go in. What's in here? Nothing. Come look.
Well, I want to give them a moment of credit, and maybe they were like, oh, if we set off the trap, it'll probably bring Kenny back, and we'll scare him by pretending to be trolls.
I don't appreciate how much logic you're throwing out. You are rock solid with this shit.
Every time, this motherfucker is like, "No, guys,
Holy
what
fuck,
happened
man.
is they did something
You
that
got-
made sense."
You have rednecks down to a T. You got it down pat. This, I tell you, every week we watch Impact. This guy books the show before it happens. I swear to you, he
I'm
knows.
telling you, I
he
can only book the
knows- yeah,
South.
only the South, but he's good at it, and he's yeah.
Aren't they canceling Impact?
Yeah.
Yeah, soon. Oh, didn't they? They didn't get a TV yet?
No, not yet.
That sucks for them. So, yeah, the Murdoch boys come out, and they're like, yeah, I don't know. And the mayor's like, that's it. You're done. You're fired. Kenny's like, no, trolls are real. Come on. And he's like, no, grow up. And they leave. And I thought it was weird. Ernest is like, come on, Kenny, tell him. And Kenny's like, and just shrugs at him like, I'm a kid. Like, what the fuck do you want me to do? So everyone leaves except for Ernest, who just kind of sits on his garbage truck and goes into a shame spiral. And then Rimshot bites him in the leg, and that peps him up. And he says, oh, I never knew when to quit. Just ask my 4th grade teacher. And they smash cut to the 4th grade teacher going, he never knew when to quit. And then she smacks him.
But is
I
that,
actually found that kind of funny.
but is that a bad thing?
I don't know.
Like-
I mean, never knowing when to quit is a bad thing, but it's not in this scenario.
Wait, is it?
Well, she hits him because what is it? Because he's pulling.
because he scratches the nails on the
scratches
chalkboard.
But is it? They're implying that it's bad that you never know when to quit because
Yeah.
you never know. But like as a kid, it's like never give up, guys. So never giving up, is that the same as never knowing when to quit?
I think it's different. I don't know. I think in this, I don't know. Just yeah. All right. After that, they jump to the treehouse, and the troll puts another wooden child in the tree, and the pods grow larger. Ernest shows up, and he makes a bunch of Brussels sprouts jokes, and decides to run and tell Lady Hackmore about it. Which, at this point, when I see how large those things grow, I immediately go, "Son, just tell hipsters about it. They'll be cooking those things tomorrow, and your problem is solved. You don't even have to worry about the troll. We'll just put them in a room, and we'll mine that shit."
How do you not like? I don't. Maybe he's more of a simpleton, or maybe I am.
All right.
If I saw these big things hanging from a tree, I would absolutely like hit one with a bat and like mush it.
Right? Like,
How could you not?
I didn't understand why he just let them grow, or why they were like, we have to stop the pods before they hit the ground. Just go fucking take them off a tree.
Yeah.
Like, don't you know how fruit works? Like,
Plug it before it's right.
it
You
stops.
squish
I
it.
don't understand, like, why they were making Brussels sprouts reference when I thought all those pods looked like green strawberries.
Except they had like
guess.
worms and shit coming
like
at them.
gummy worms were falling out of them.
Gummy worms. Green strawberries and gummy worms.
I'm rich. People will buy that in an instant.
No, they won't.
No,
one
they
will buy
fucking will not. Yeah, he runs up to tell Lady Hackmore about it. The troll follows the truck, or he follows on the truck, and he starts stabbing through the roof of the truck with I don't know where he got the giant knife,
that. Yeah.
or why he decided right now to start using it, but and just right through, like no problem.
Yeah. Suddenly shit gets real, and he's like, "No, I'm gonna kill you, Ernest.
Yeah,
I will
you're
murder
a dead man." And Ernest calls him the CB for the guy, but he's just like, "Yep, I'm here," and that's it. Like,
Yeah.
they don't go any farther with it. The troll rips the door off of the truck and starts to come inside, and Ernest goes out the other window up to the roof, and the troll follows. At this point in the film, because they focus on it, Rimshot is the one driving the car.
Yeah.
Or the truck, rather.
So is cruise control on?
I don't know. Either that or the dog has insanely long legs.
No, it's shown that he does not have long legs because he has to jump down to step on the gas.
Oh yeah, I guess it must just be cruise control, or maybe the car's only going like 1 mile per hour. Like it's just in drive and it's just slowly moving forward.
It's like,
Maybe he modified it. We've already seen that he
Yeah.
modified.
I don't need. Oh, now he's like some other crazy genius where he turned his cruise control into 50. I don't know.
well, he did rig the garbage truck to stop when he pulled the batteries out of the remote.
Oh my god.
So they go through this crazy fight. They're fighting like in the cab of the truck, on the roof of the truck, in the bed of the
bed,
truck.
yeah.
And they're all over the place, and Ernest
he pulls out these hedge clippers, right?
Yeah.
And then I don't know what
The troll just cuts him
him in half.
Yeah.
And then he starts sword fighting with it. Like what?
Yeah, I didn't understand that. Like, wait a minute. The
He
troll
pulls,
just
he pulls out hedge clippers and cuts the hedge clippers in half.
yeah.
Then he starts sword fighting with it. Then they turn into nunchucks. Is that what I?
No.
those
What
were-
happens is he goes to use it as a sword.
Yeah.
The troll cuts it in half, so he opens it up to kind of then block himself because then the troll went to go stab down, and so he opens up hedge clippers to kind of block it.
Yeah.
using
But
his
how
block.
did the troll not just cut through that?
That I'm not sure. And then after he blocks that and he bumps away the
Yeah.
troll, he picks up nunchucks.
Oh,
at
there
that
were
point.
just other nunchucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he bought them because the guy sold him
Oh,
troll
right,
fighting
that's
nunchucks.
right. That's yes. I really thought that he somehow turned the hedge clippers into nunchucks, and I was like, you know what? Probably in this film, that's probably exactly what he did. During this scene, I just go, I didn't realize there were so many jokes that could be made about snot. Like everything,
Yeah.
booger lips and
Booger lips
and
and-
snot blocker, and I'm like, what are you? And like the troll has mucus on him every time. Like I don't. It's at this point I don't understand like how, like what the difference between like mucus and fecal matter. Like why is one slightly less disgusting than the
Yeah.
other, or slightly more offensive than the other? Like it was just weird to me. The nunchucks, he starts twirling the nunchucks around that he has, and he smacks himself in the face as every white person does with nunchucks.
Yep.
That's how we work them. That's you give a white person nunchucks, they will destroy themselves. Then it may actually not, because my favorite scene happens a little later. But this still, I think, is a great scene. Ernest falls down, notices a pile of rope next to him, picks it up, and just
throws
hucks it right in the troll's face, and he falls off the truck.
Yeah.
Immediately, like it was no big deal. Like why haven't we just been throwing barrels at him this whole film? Apparently, if you just just take
Donkey
an object
Kong him.
and he would have been dead hours ago. So he gets hit with the rope, falls off the truck. But the rope is still attached to both him and the truck, or at least to the truck.
Yeah.
And he gets up and holds onto the rope, and then starts pulling the truck backward.
Yeah.
And which is just insane that he has that much strength, but also can be knocked over by a rope to the face.
Very inconsistent.
Yeah, exactly. Then Ernest is just like, rim shot, reverse. So he does.
Smashes the troll
Yeah.
right in the face with the truck. To the point where I was like, "Oh shit!
Yeah.
Did he just win?"
Disintegrated, right? No, because the troll is gone, so he thinks, oh, did I win? Oh, is it gone? But then the troll, full on teleportation, because
Yup.
he falls onto the truck.
Yeah.
So he teleported into the air. He was in the air and fell on the truck, and then just like breathes the windshield through, and his breath also throws Ernest from the back of the truck farther in the back of the truck, but into a barrel that I am so very confident was not there at any other point
Yeah, I'm
in the
pretty
film.
sure
not.
There was no barrel, and let alone if there was, there's no way it was open. There's no way. But he falls into the barrel head first, so his feet are sticking out, and the troll just picks it up, kicks it off the truck bed, and
Then the barrel gets run over by the Tulip brothers.
Yeah. Which that was one of the parts where I laughed. Was all of a sudden I think it's Tom the Tulip was like, look out! Jump to the Hackmore place where Ernest he's hopping upstairs to get to the door, and he knocks on the door, and the door opens, and then he falls back down the
Yeah.
stairs. Aha. And inside, Lady Hackmore is I know, dude. Lady Hackmore is trying to open up the barrel. I should point out it is a metal barrel. She's trying to open up the metal barrel with a giant can opener.
First we see I guess I don't know if it was Ernest's feet or head but you don't see the whole, you don't see what she's doing. You just hear noise. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, if this bitch is using a giant fucking can opener, and lo and behold, there's a comically oversized.
I don't like what.
Why wouldn't there be?
I part of me wanted to go back and watch the film just in the off chance that it might have been in her house just in an earlier scene and I didn't notice it, and I could go, okay, at least she previously owned the item. Because in my mind, he showed up and she went, I'm gonna go to the store real quick, buy a novelty-sized can opener. I'll be right back.
Someone in the props department was told, hey, you need to make a really big can opener, like huge can opener. And I don't even think she finishes opening, and somehow he gets knocked outside, or...
No, I don't think she even opens it at all.
No, she does. It's because he's reading the book and he's like, "Oh, look, there's pages stuck together."
Yeah.
And they go, "Oh, M-I something K. Oh, it's Miak. It's good old genuine whatever, Botswanan Miak or whatever it is." And old lady Hackmore realizes, "Oh, he still needs children, and all the children are at the school. We have to go save them. We've gotta go do something." And so they go and they run to the school. At the school, Elizabeth's mother's looking for her, and nobody's seen her because she's wood at this point. Outside, Ernest and Lady Hackmore show up, and Ernest runs inside to tell everyone about the troll and the dangers or whatever, while Lady Hackmore sees a mother and daughter fight and then immediately make up, and she realizes that, oh, it's unconditional love, that's what the thing is, that's what they're talking about.
I hated that mother-daughter fight.
Yeah, I don't...
It was like... The daughter's dressed as like some giant teddy bear, and she's like, "Mom, I don't want to go. I hate this costume." And the mom's like, "Well, dear, you said that you liked that costume when you picked it out, so you're gonna stick with that costume."
Yeah.
I hate you, Mom. Well, I'm not fond of you either.
Yeah.
And the daughter storms away. It's just like, "I'm sorry, Mom. I love you." It's like, "I love you too." And I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Fuck you." No, the kid would have been like, "I hate you, and I'm never gonna see you again."
Would have like fucking broke some glass and
Broke
like
some glass.
and called Child Protective Services.
No, you're thinking of Eric Cartman. You're thinking of South Park. That's not
Why? What's your typical child reaction?
I don't know, like storm away and throw a temper tantrum, not smash a beer bottle over a table. And
I
threaten
didn't
to
say she was gonna brandish a fucking sharp object at her mother's neck. I mean, she's whatever, man.
She's gonna call Child Protective.
Yeah, she's gonna freak out.
Is that
and
what
be like-
kids do now?
I think they do. They're pretty unruly pieces of shit.
Yeah, I think so. I think you just gotta mention.
They'll punch people in the face. They don't give a really, if an 8-year-old boy punched you straight in the face, what would you do?
I would punch that motherfucker.
Congratulations, you're going to jail. There's no law that says, oh, well, a child assaulted you. That's okay to retaliate in self-defense.
I would end
Kids can
him.
do whatever the fuck they want, and the worst thing that will happen, well, they'll go, wow, I shouldn't have done that. And then that's, like, they get grounded. Like, what?
I wouldn't
Kids
punch.
these days,
I would.
they're too self-aware. They realize, like, what are you gonna do? Send me to my room where all the things I own are?
This is a little bit of a tangent. My favorite thing working retail, my favorite thing ever is young kids. You know, they're small. They're like waist height. Okay. If they were being a brat, I would just go and stand right next to them and fart next to them. It was the greatest thing. And then, like, I would, just walk by and, like, let one out, and fucking on my way, just fart right in those kids' faces.
Oh, my God. That's gotta be like chemical warfare or something. I think you just admitted to gassing children.
There's no law against farting at a kid. Probably.
I think it's chemical warfare would be the law. Whatever. Ernest runs inside, and he runs into a door, Ernest is not an idiot. Ernest should have run into that door. That door had a push-open thing, and it opened out. Like, it didn't... Like, you saw it had the little handle on thing, like the bar you push down, and it's supposed to open out, but then it opened in, which... That's not how you can't
fire
push
hazard.
You can't push down and out on a lock and then pull the door inward toward like that. No. That someone was like, Ernest is coming, switch the doors.
Turn the door around.
Oh man. So yeah, he runs inside and he's like, the troll, for some reason he's talking all weird because his face got mushed. And this one time in the film, he's mushed mouth. I don't know why. He runs in, he's like, "Bear trolley come bear." I'm like, is this the scene where everyone goes, Ernest is drunk? Like,
oh no, the stroke stuck.
Which I'm not sure
Good
if it's
old
in this
JR.
scene or if it's in the next scene that I caught. The Tulip brothers,
Yes.
they're walking around selling stuff, and one of the things they're selling is stir-fried sushi for some reason.
That's, what?
Yeah, stir-fried sushi.
I didn't catch that.
No.
Yeah, because
I
as soon
saw
as I
they were-
heard that, yeah.
They were holding stuff.
Yeah,
but-
that's what apparently was in there, was stir-fried sushi. Because when I heard that, I was like, that kind of negates
Yeah,
sushi.
a little
though.
bit, yeah. Whatever, man. Yeah, but they're next to him going, shh, don't talk about the troll. Everyone will tell you that we scammed you. Yeah, but nobody pays attention to Ernest, and we go back behind the curtain because they're in the gym and there's a stage, and and we go back behind the closed curtain, and one of the Murdoch boys lines up in the line for I guess some sort of costume contest. They tell you what it is, but I don't pay attention to them. And then he mocks the troll next to him, which is the troll.
Yeah.
Did anyone catch the troll's name? Because it has a name, and they said it several times in the film.
Really?
But I never go. Oh yeah, it's like troglodyte or something like that.
That's a Pokemon.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure that's
Well,
Troglodyte.
Japan's going to get to by
Whatever.
Ernest.
Yeah, I guess that's what's happening.
Ernest plays Pokemon.
But yeah, so the troll just is like and turns him into wood, and everyone immediately, I love it because the troll turns him into wood. All the kids run. Everyone, all the adults on the other side of literally, there's a room full of adults sitting down for an assembly, waiting for a curtain to be open to see their children in costumes. They hear a strange grumbling and the curtain moving, and they scatter. They scatter.
No concern for their children.
No concern for anything because Lady Hackmore comes in and she's trying to get into the auditorium or to the gym, and the wave of people pushes her down and out. So yeah, just they panic. They panic. It's like someone shouted fire in a movie theater. They screwed everyone.
Yeah, so
No.
everyone's leaving the gym.
Yes.
And then, is this when Rimshot starts biting the troll on the leg?
No, because first Ernest has to show
Okay.
up with the Miak, which I don't know what it is, but he got a jar of it.
Yeah. He shows up and he's like, I know your weakness, troll. Miak. And the
Yes.
troll's just like, Miak? What
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Fuck.
And then that's exactly what happens. What you said, which is then the troll gets bit by Rimshot, and Rimshot turns into wood. And because when he goes Miak, and then he throws him away, he throws Ernest away, and Ernest lands in the ice cream something, and ice cream falls on him, and milk's and ice cream, which I feel like the troll himself had to put it together because like the ice cream's on him, and he's like, what ice cream? What's that? Ice cream has milk. Oh God! And then he runs away because he doesn't. Every other time milk gets spilled, and he runs away, but he's got ice cream on him. And he's like, hang on, that's not. What? That kind of. It's sort of like.
Is
oh
that-
shit?
What? Are you covered in like frozen milk? Because this troll was like buried in like the 1800s or something.
Maybe that was it. Maybe he had to wait for it to go to liquid.
He was like, wait,
So
that stuff is melting. That looks like milk. Oh my God, that's milk. They froze milk.
just throw any white liquid at him and he runs.
What is-
Another reason they changed the film from Scared Stiff.
What I found strange in this, though, is that when he turns Rimshot into a wooden creature, Rimshot turns into a wooden creature, what, about half his size? If that. But yet when he changes the kids, he changes all the kids to like a doll size.
There's no proportional shrinkage.
Yeah.
The kids go from a normal height of 3-4 feet tall. I don't know how fucking tall kids are these days. Goes down to about 12 inches, right? A fourth of the size. Dog, like you said, half the size. Like,
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Does his powers not work as effectively on non-human mammals? Is that?
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know.
How would they work
I
on
don't
an
like
adult?
how quickly you agreed to that.
Yeah, no, maybe he's strongest against children for some reason.
That's weird.
I want to know what a full-size adult.
Maybe that
shrunk
is
down.
because people used to live shorter lifespans back in the day. Like 40 used to be it was the 80 of the people lived to be 80, and then back in the day 40 was like, oh my God, how old are you? So maybe that's it. Maybe that he just didn't need to deal with 80-year-olds and
This is
his
a
powers.
little bit of a tangent, but I read online that how they the average lifespan was 40 years old in the 1700s.
Yeah.
That it's not because people didn't live.
No, that's 'cause
as-
disease and
It's
shit.
because the mortality rate of infants was crazy high, so that tanky.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, people didn't live to be. You know,
People also would just shit on their hands and not wash them constantly. They would literally just go to the bathroom, shit on their hands, and then go, "Oh, a sandwich," and so they would just die left and right.
just shit on their hands.
Yeah, not in a bowl or in a hole or anything like that. Directly on their hands, and then they would just start making meatballs.
All right.
So the people go to check on Ernest, who had been thrown to the ice cream machine, and they're like, "Oh, are you okay? Are you, yeah?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm the greatest warrior ever." And then Kenny's like, "Oh no, wooden rim shot." And Ernest is like, "Oh no, my dog. Oh," which immediately I was like, "No,
Yeah.
fuck you! I spent my entire life trying to avoid that episode of Futurama, and you throw it right back into my face. How dare you!" So yeah, this scene didn't happen in that film, is what I'm trying to tell you. Ernest, for no reason, gets pepped up and goes to fight the troll. He goes outside and leaves, and as he leaves, the sheriff shows up, and inside we see Kenny puts it on. Oh, milk! It's milk. That's what it is. Well, one thing I wasn't sure if you noticed earlier back in the scene is when the bully character went too far. Which is Elizabeth's mother runs up to the teacher, the black lady, and she's like, "Oh, have you seen Elizabeth?" And she's like, "Oh no, I haven't seen her." And then the eldest bully, the one who gets turned into the doll, pushes his way in between the two of them. And he's like, he's probably at the treehouse or whatever. Like, children don't physically push adults out of the way. Like, I don't care how much of a dick you don't do that without someone going, "All right, now I gotta grab you by your neck, kid."
What if you're the mayor's son?
I'd have to assume even the mayor would be like, what was wrong with you, kid? No, probably not. Actually, no, never mind. Yep, never mind. Forget the whole thing. Everything's fine. Oh, so then we get to Ernest in his truck, and he's just, I don't even pay attention. He's just driving very angrily. He's like, "My dog, I'm going to get you, troll, blah, blah, blah." Back to the school, the townspeople are yet again yelling at the sheriff about, "We got to do things," and blah, blah, blah. But now this time they're going, "We have to stop the troll," and not, "There is no troll." Yeah. The sheriff's like, I don't know what you people want from me. And Kenny's like, "No, Dad, it's milk. Milk kills the troll." And the town people are like, "Enough of this troll business. Let's go kill the troll." And they leave. And Kenny's dad's like, "Stay here. I'm going to go fix things." And Lady Hackmore's like, "You have to do what you think is right, even when no one else does." And leaves. And then goes and steals a bike and drives it away.
I love that.
Oh my God.
She just got on the bike.
I think that might have been Kenny's bike too that she stole. I'm not, because I don't remember exactly how Kenny got there, but I know it was with a bike, and now there was only one bike in the bike. I don't know.
God, it would be amazing. And she was right. And he goes outside and was like, "Where's my bike?"
It's like, "That bitch!"
Wait, did that bitch just steal my bike?
Oh man. Back to Ernest's truck. He's just making jokes about his wooden dog. Like, "What am I gonna do? Call him Splinter?" But like, whatever. Fine. Back to the school. Kenny is just kind of looking like at the remains of where Ernest landed, and the children just suddenly rally around him and like, "All right, what can we do? How do we get this guy?" The troll puts all of the wooden kids into the tree. That sets his children free, and all the pods they start to grow and glow. And then Ernest shows up and drives his truck clean into the troll, which crushes him between the tree. But when he gets out, no troll corpse.
Teleportation.
Yep. And Ernest starts looking around for the troll and goes, "Oh, where is he? He can be anywhere."
All the troll pods start like shaking and falling.
Yep.
Ernest trying to catch them all. Can't. Starts dropping into the ground, and immediately they just like burrow into the earth and start glowing.
It's strange to think that trolls apparently are in pods that need to burrow under the ground before they can transform, I guess, into their final stasis.
Yeah, trolls are a vegetable.
I don't know, like how, like what would that be? Like mitosis? I don't.
I don't think that's. I mean, it's like a metamorphosis, like a butterfly and a caterpillar, except it's like the cocoon and then the.
Yeah, I don't, because it's not. It's weird because it's not like it's part of it, but it is part of it. Like it's like, I don't know. It's like fish.
It's like what are those bugs? The like ones that could just cicadas. You know the fucking
What's that bug that buzzes? You know, come on.
no the cicadas, the fucking loud like
Yeah.
They they're like little bugs and they burrow into the ground and disappear for like 7 years and then they just come out as full-grown cicadas. Maybe it's
I kind of feel like that's not
that's a thing.
how they work exactly.
It's pretty close.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with pretty close.
So is a troll technically a bug?
Without a doubt, it's definitely a plant. Because it grew. Well, I know, actually, maybe not. Because it grew off of the. Maybe it's a fungus.
Oh.
That would well, it wouldn't really explain the mucus, but it would kind of lazily explain it.
I think we're thinking too much into the biology of a troll.
Yeah, I doubt they put that much thought into like.
So guys, should we make him a fungus or an animal or
Well, before
a
we touch
vegetable?
that, let's finish its digestive system. Let's.
Okay.
Did you think I was literally saying?
Yeah,
finish-
we're gonna talk about the digestive
Oh,
system.
okay. So yeah, he tries to catch all of the troll droppings. No go. There's too many of them. He had a hold of these lemons. You know.
Yeah.
They start coming out of the ground. They start hatching. He tries to use a garbage can lid to stop them from coming out, but that doesn't work at all. We jump to a convenience store, the one from earlier that Ernest was at, and all the kids show up on bikes and they raid the store.
They literally ride their bikes into the store, don't get off,
No.
and just straight ride through. As they ride by, just grab shit off the shelves.
Yes, absolutely. And the store clerk tries to stop them, but he gets thrown into a wheat checks display, which makes me wonder: does anybody actually eat wheat checks? I'm not even talking about like us. I mean anybody in the world.
Well, I eat Raisin Bran, and I eat...
No. That's because I knew that was gonna come up. I have no problem with bran-based cereal.
Okay.
I like bran flakes. I like Raisin Bran. I like shredded wheat. Even the plain
Yeah.
giant squares that like you're only allowed to eat when you're 80 because you just can't poop anymore, and that's what you have to eat a whole wicker chair for it to work. It's the only thing that happens. But for some reason, there's something about wheat checks that it's just like someone found a way to they turned carpets and sweaters into cereal is what they did. I don't know how they did it, but that's what that shit tastes like. It's just a bowl full of carpets. I don't know. That's just me. I hate it. So I'm glad that display got ruined. That was the moral of that story.
You think wheat checks, like... Because it's common now. Like, you watch Iron Man or you watch Transformers, and they're like, wow, I'm gonna take a drink of my beer. Glug, 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 glug. It's almost comically bad how it is in some... Do you think, like, wheat checks was like, hey, we'll throw in $64 towards your movie's budget if you slip in some wheat checks.
Some wheat checks. That's what I'm convinced with how bad the story is, how low budget the film is, how Jim Varney must have been a billionaire. Because I mean, what, $14 million? This film, which was the worst grossing film.
Yeah.
So he must have every cent. Like what?
From all the commercials, and he just reused the same costume, and
It's insane. It's insane.
You know, it was the same director, John Cherry the Third.
Oh yeah.
Like, no, I mean for everything.
Yeah,
The commercials, the show, the everything.
I think he actually appears in some of the later films, like in the army and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's just unbelievable that there's a thing that kept happening, and that thing is Ernest. All right, yeah. So the wheat checks get knocked down, and they take the milk, and they go. Because that's what the kids went there for. They went for milk.
Yeah.
Get the milk and they go. Oh, and also
Water
squirt,
guns.
yeah, squirt
Super
guns,
soakers.
yeah. Well, not just Super Soakers, but yes, one of the brand names was
Yes.
Super Soaker.
I recognize a
Yeah,
Super
yeah,
Soaker.
yeah.
I own that Super Soaker.
I didn't like the pink color, but I liked that Uzi that kid,
Yeah.
that Uzi water gun that kid was using. But yeah, we see Lady Hackmore is still, she's riding that bike down the road that she stole. We jump to the treehouse, and all the trolls finish hatching, and they start attacking Ernest. And then the townspeople show up, and they just start running, like they literally show up and then just start running around in circles.
Yeah.
If you notice, if you really pay attention, people run away from the tree towards the crowd. Like they just went, okay, extras go. Like they didn't give any direction. There's people just running in circles doing nothing. It was an absolute madhouse. Ernest goes into the treehouse because I get a higher ground or whatever. The Tulip brothers are there and they're just getting rich, trying to take pictures. I'm like, oh, aliens invade town.
Yeah.
We're gonna scam them good. Ernest starts having his multiple personality attack, and straight up he had to have killed a man because he throws a bowling ball at a guy's head.
Yeah.
He had to have died.
From, if not dead, that man is permanently,
Yeah.
permanently brain damaged.
I don't recall at the end when everyone was like, oh, the trolls are gone. Oh, okay, but all right. I don't recall a man in a bee costume standing up.
No.
So
He's got a giant dent in the top of his skull now, and every time he talks, it sounds like the.
oh man, oh poor man. When you put a real face on it like that,
He permanently thinks he's a bumblebee now.
that was the bug that goes buzz. You know the bug that goes buzz. It's because it's the only word he can say anymore. That's it. Hey, how you doing today, Larry? Buzz, 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 buzz. Yeah, so he kills him. He crushes a man's skull. He had to have. Because he throws it through a basketball hoop, and then it goes and lands on the guy's head. So it's got gravity, too.
Yeah, it's got gravity.
Yeah, it's got gravity going for it. He's fucked. Back to the road, all the kids pass old lady Hackmore on her bike, who bike's having some sort of trouble. I guess the chain fell off.
yeah.
I guess, yeah. That's what she gets for stealing a bike, I suppose. Back at the treehouse, Ernest is being chased around the treehouse by two trolls. Somehow he confuses them and makes them run into each other.
Not once, but multiple times somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whatever. Amazing.
One of my least favorite things in all of television in film is when they have the chase. I always associate with Gilligan's Island, like the chase around the coconut tree,
Yeah.
and they're like, "We're gonna speed up the film." Hate it.
Yeah.
Benny Hill is the only thing that works in.
That's it.
That's it. Benny Hill. All right, you got me.
We gotta put some yakety sax in this film.
Yeah.
That's what it needs.
Have we gotten to the cop, the sheriff? Like,
Oh, when he's being like shot at or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, actually, yeah. They already ate the bullets, I think. Yeah, because this is when the kids show up and start shooting them all with the milk.
Yeah.
And the cop's gun, took the bullets out, ate it, and then another troll is hitting him in the back of the head with a club, firing a lot more than 6 bullets.
yeah,
way more than that.
dozens.
Yeah. Again, it's like that, I think it was RIPD, right? Didn't somebody eat a gun and...
Yes.
And so, yeah, then the kids, they show up with the milk and it starts working. And they're going around there shooting milk and everything.
Yep.
Which it's either right here or right before this when I assume this is the scene where you're probably having a good time. Just because I realize how much Hollywood loves to put little people in costumes and just huck them around. Just start hurling them at things. It was really, I was just like, man, now that I've noticed the pattern, I'm just like, that's, wow.
We're gonna put these little people in costumes and just toss them.
Just huck them. So yeah, they're going around, milking all the trolls. Ernest is about to be executed by a troll.
Milking all the trolls.
Yeah, I'm right.
Yeah.
They're shooting them with milk. That still doesn't sound. They're killing the trolls.
Yeah, there you go.
And Ernest is about to be executed. Okay. Ernest is about to be executed by the trolls. Kenny saves him and tells him about the milk. The main troll is somehow teleportation, I guess, back inside the tree and asking demons to make him stronger.
What demons?
I don't know. Not only what demons, but why did we wait until just then to ask anything for that? Whatever. Lady Hackmore, she shows up and she somehow sneaks all these wooden dolls that she had into the tree. And her troll shows up and she just yells directly at the troll and it just runs away. Some random troll. Ernest starts talking about the high ground to Kenny and he has a full-blown multiple personality attack where he starts attacking the trolls. A troll eats the Tulip Brothers camera and a kid runs by and kills him, destroys the film, so they're distraught. Kenny is being cornered. This is my favorite scene in the film. I love this part. Kenny is being cornered by a troll, and he's kind of scared. And then all of a sudden, he smiles and pulls out a box of powdered milk, throws it into a fan behind him, kills the troll. I was like, oh, genius! Like, that was great.
But is powdered milk made out of milk?
That's what I was thinking about, too. I was like, wait a minute. Does it really work that way? I don't know.
I don't know if powdered milk is milk. Yeah, I don't know if...
I'm not exactly sure how that works.
Kudos to him for thinking of powdered milk.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Regardless whether it's true or not. Fantastic. I love it. Logic or no logic, I'm glad it's in the film. Regardless.
It's the only thing you're glad
Yeah. Ernest is still having his attack of multiple personalities, but he is killing trolls, so I mean,
Yeah.
you can't really argue with it, I guess. The main troll is shown he's still growing stronger.
He grows like extra tentacles and horns out of his face.
Yeah, when that happens, immediately my mind goes, magic wand, make my monster grow! But then he only grows like a half a foot taller, and I was like, oh, that's... Well, maybe for a dwarf, he's towering right now. So Ernest kills what appears to be the last two trolls with this helicopter mailbox thing, which again, how is he an idiot?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I guess he's a savant.
Yeah.
He's like Rain Man, but instead of card counting, it's...
How many bad films are going to depict autists as the main character? God damn it! It's not a joke, Hollywood. Everyone shakes off the trolls that are dead. They all clap for Ernest. Oh, you killed the trolls. Yeah. Lady Hackmore's like, no, it's not over. You don't understand. It's not over. The main troll bursts out of the tree, sets everything on fire.
Yeah.
Ernest is thrown out of the treehouse. The troll corners Kenny. Kenny grabs a milk gun, but the troll goes, I've grown too strong for that now. Like,
I sure should have done this earlier.
yeah, like, I don't know what you were thinking about. So then, boom, Kenny gets turned into wood. The troll jumps out of the tree onto the wooden Kenny, which immediately I'm like, that is some really good wood.
Yeah.
That's some damn strong wood.
I
Jumped out of a tree onto it, and it just went...
I really thought, I was like, oh, I guess he can't come.
I thought they straight up murdered Kenny.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I was like, that kid is like, he's like, that's the one thing that's never gonna come back. You could make a sequel with evil demons and the troll comes back. Kenny's dead. He's gone forever.
Or when they turn him back, his arm is just
His
it's
head,
over-
like he's
it's
just gonna
over there
hold his
now.
head. Like, yeah.
This is when they realize that a mother's warm love, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it. Old Lady Hackmore just kind of slowly leans into the mayor and goes, Ernest doesn't understand. It's unconditional love that breaks the curse. That's not milk, it's unconditional love. And then all of a sudden, Ernest, way, way far away from him.
Like 20
from
feet
her,
away,
yeah,
it's just like,
holding milk. And I love it because he looks at the milk, looks directly at the camera, and goes, unconditional love. Heart of a child. Unconditional love. Like, he's just like it's echoing in his head, but he's saying it out loud. I was like, what just happened? Like, it was a part of the movie. I just, my mind blanked. I was like, why? Whoa, why? What? It blew my mind. It blew my mind. I was so shocked. I don't know why. Certainly was not the worst part of the film.
yeah.
But for some reason it happened. I just went, what? What? But whatever, yeah. For some reason, Ernest suddenly understands the riddle that no one's explained to him. I don't know why. There's not like a mother holding her child nearby. He just looks at milk and goes, oh, I get it.
Savant.
So, yeah, I guess. Oh, God damn it. Goddamn autist.
It just clicks with them.
It does. So yeah, boom. He suddenly realizes it's the heart of a child, unconditional love, and just embraces the troll. Come on, buddy, come here. Runs, jumps in his arms. They dance around for a while, and then eventually he kisses the troll, and that makes the troll implode. And then that's it. That's literally the troll implodes, and
Yep.
it's over. The troll's dead. Everyone congratulates Ernest, Which I think is funny because they all rally around. It's like, "Oh, good job, Ernest! Yeah, yeah, yeah." Then all of a sudden, the kids start to come out of the tree, and it's like all the parents go, "Oh, right, our kids!"
Yeah, I picked up on that too. The fact that they're like, "Yes, we did it! Good job, Ernest!"
Yeah.
And no concern about their
No.
children or
They were in the moment.
the
of, like,
guy with the crushed skull from the bowling ball.
There's just a corpse laying just out of frame this whole time. So yeah, they go over, like, "Oh, kids, yeah, yeah." Kenny's parents apologize to him, which they should. Lady Hackmore, the wooden kids that she put in the tree, they come out. And Ernest is sad because he's all alone. But then Rimshot comes out of the truck. And Rimshot's, "Oh," and they kind of embrace until they lower out of camera. And Lady Hackmore looks at the screen and just kind of like winks. Or she doesn't wink, but she kind of just gives it a look. And then it ends. That's it.
But did you miss the part where some of the children that came out of the tree, the one that old lady Hackmore put in there, were her like brother and sister?
Yeah.
How old is she?
I don't know. I mean, what I presume, I don't know if you put this together, but remember in the beginning, the black family that was crying?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that she was the youngest daughter.
Yeah, that's what I assumed.
That's what I assumed. So that's why I was like, "Don't worry, we're going to get them back." I assume that's what it was, which I felt really bad. I kind of, like, given everything that's happened, I feel bad for pointing out, like, "Oh, the poor white kids." But I did feel bad for those white kids who literally, they don't really even know Lady Hackmore. They're just two random white kids that got paternity, and now they're not in the 1800s anymore.
What
Those
do you do
kids
with
are,
them?
I don't know. Like, I don't even, like, how do you, like, what do you, that's crazy. Like
I
she
can only
can't even take
imagine
care of
that-
them.
I was going to say, I can only imagine she would have to try
But
to raise
she-
all
I
of them
mean,
together somehow.
She's probably, like, what, 70, 80? She's not going to last much longer herself.
How? This movie is set, let's say, 1980s.
It just said long ago, so.
80s?
Well, it came out in 91. So
Okay, let's say it's set in 1991.
90, yeah.
If the fucking opening long ago takes place in 1900, which it totally looks older than that, at a minimum, this bitch is like 95, 100 years old.
I mean, yeah, if she was that girl looked probably in her teens.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Whatever, the fucking movie's over, thankfully.
Yeah, that's it.
But Ernest as a ghost would have been way better.
Yeah. Yeah, did anyone else forget, like, that Rimshot existed?
Yeah, I
Totally
totally
forgot he had a dog, yeah.
And then he's like, "Well, there's nothing for me, Vern."
Yes. Which, again, a terrible, terrible Wizard of Oz reference. There's nothing in that tree for me. Nothing in that bag for me. It's the same. I hate Wizard of Oz references.
Vern.
I hate them. All right. So like we said, that's it. Film's over. Garbage done. What do you guys think?
Horse shit.
Horseshit film.
It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. It was, in fact, a terrible film, but at the same time, it wasn't a terrible film. Like, the best way I can put it is I personally felt that, like, Jim Varney wasn't a terrible actor. He's a fine actor, but I don't like the character Ernest, so it was
Yeah.
awful for me. Earth the Kid, I love. I
Yeah.
like overacting,
Yeah,
so that
me
kind of
too.
helps it, but I thought she was one of the best parts of the film. Like we said, I also felt like it was a made-for-TV kind of a thing. I also, not to just shit on an actor for no reason, but after seeing this and watching, at the very least, a majority of Third Rock from the Sun, I've seen everything that Shay Astor has to offer. Everything she has to offer as an actress, I've seen it. Yeah, but I mean, like I said, after watching it, it's easy to tell why it's one of those films that you either love it or you go, "No, I hate this film." You hate it. That's it. There's not enough middle ground in the film for anyone to take a middle ground.
Yeah.
And I also thought that there was I mean, I guess I can see it's labeled a family movie instead of a kids movie just because of how much death is in there.
I guess.
Like, I felt like if there wasn't any death, 100% kids film.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But because of the introduction of death, they had to go, well, we're going to need parents to explain, well, look, this is what it is that's going on there. I did think that the soundtrack was phenomenal. I loved the music in this film. Like, just all the background. And not like there wasn't any famous songs. I'm just saying just the music that they played in the background of the film. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it really worked.
I can't think of it right
Yeah,
now.
I-
Sorry,
I just thought it was good. I just want to point it out. That's all. It's not,
I know the opening credits song sounded Halloweeny.
yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah.
Like I just wanted to say that if there's one excellent thing about this film, it's the soundtrack. It's really good. I liked it. I know we already know the answer to this question, but I mean, would you make a sequel?
No.
I wouldn't really.
Absolutely
I don't
not.
see a reason to either. I mean, and technically they didn't either because this is the last film made by Touchstone Studios, so they
Yeah.
were like, no good. And then
Let alone, what would you make a sequel about? He killed the troll.
Son of Ernest. No, that's a actual factual thing.
Is it? Because I was reading about that. I wasn't sure if
The
they made it
director
yet.
found some guy who does a shitty Ernest
okay.
impression, and he's like, guys, we want to make Son of Ernest. And on IMDb, it's listed as in development, but I think it's kind of like shit the bed. But there's video of the director, John Cherry III, who's like, fuck, my buddy who played Ernest is dead. Well, I guess I'll just find a new buddy who can play Ernest. And I don't know if they're trying to bring it back, but... Dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to be honest, with all the smash cut gags, the cutaway gags, I think it might do pretty well these days. You know, with the Family Guy popularity,
Maybe.
I think it might that kind of ADD style TV might work.
And people might recognize Ernest from Family Guy, right? Ernest goes to the beach. Ernest doesn't go to the beach.
Yeah.
I will say, apparently they referenced it a lot in The Simpsons. Because I found online a list of Ernest goes somewhere cheap, Ernest versus the Pope, and there were a couple other ones. Those are all references to Ernest things from The Simpsons.
Okay, that's
So they did it first.
Yeah,
Simpsons did it.
Well, they've been around since before we were born. Of course, they've done it. All right, let's play a little game. What do you guys say? O and A's, opinions and assholes. Let's see what you guys think.
All right.
All right, this first one was written by C. Clay, who apparently loves selling books. Poor recreation of killer clowns from outer space. Watch both movies, you'll see what I mean. This was the worst copycat movie ever. He copied off another movie in Ernest Goes to Jail and Ernest Goes to Camp, but dang, this is the worst. It's also gross, and I wouldn't let my children watch it. 1 out of 5 stars.
Asshole.
Yeah.
You're an asshole. Just for that last. Oh, it's gross. I won't let. Fuck you. Your kids probably watch some awful horse shit with murder and mayhem, and because the troll has snot on
Trolls,
its face,
yeah.
it's gross. Fuck you.
Has anyone ever seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
I know of it.
Yeah,
I'm
I've
aware
never
that
seen
it's
it
a
either.
thing.
This next one is by Missy from Canada. I've seen pretty much all of the Ernest films.
Spelled Ernest wrong.
Yeah, I spelled it like the word Ernest instead of the name. And I think that they're great for kids. It is about a monster that eats kids to gain more power.
False.
It sneaks up on kids while they are outside, inside, anywhere. It terrified the kids that watched it. They couldn't sleep without having nightmares for a month. It's not good for kids. 1 out of 5 stars. I don't know about her, but I think her kids are assholes.
Yeah, I think
Her kids are dumb.
this is a genuine opinion. I just think she is the fucking Ernest target audience. It has just dumb.
She's such the target audience that it was like offensive. It was the reverse. Like she's like, this is so spot on. It has to be a parody. How dare they? Oh man. All right, next one is by Sandy from California. We have been racking our brains for older shows that our kids loved for our grandkids. TV today is simply brainless and shy of any moral values. Ernest rocks and our 5-year-old grandson laughs himself silly.
See, this
5 of 5 stars.
This right here, that's 100% asshole. But this just shows how much we just love the past. How we have this idyllic, nostalgia, tainted view. No. When I was a kid, cartoons were better. This shit they have on now, it's garbage. Oh, my parents say that when they were younger, their cartoons were... No, it's just you.
I know. That's why part of me kind of loves baby boomers, because like 90% of the things they say, you can go, that's factually incorrect. You have the internet on you, look it up.
No. When I was younger, people were tougher. You could drop out of an airplane and survive. No, that's not.
The force of gravity alone from falling. Never mind. Forget the whole thing. You're just going to get that angry look on your face and start yelling about Obama again. All right, this last one is by Lunchables from Jersey. This movie is the funniest Ernest movie made.
Oh my God.
It's not scary, but it's funny, just like every other Ernest movie. It's not regular funny, it's really stupid funny. If you're a real Ernest fan, you'll know all the Ernest movies are funny and stupid. I don't. He then lists all the movies. Ernest Scared Stupid is just like Ernest Goes to Jail, Ernest Goes to Camp, Ernest Goes to Africa, Ernest Goes to School, Ernest Rides Again, Slam Dunk Ernest, Ernest Saves Christmas, and Ernest in the Army. Hopefully, to honor Jim Varney, they will release his final Ernest movie, Ernest the Pirate.
What?
No, I looked it up. My same reaction. There was a film, and it was I think in something like pre-production.
Yeah.
When he died, Jim Varney died.
Okay.
So I guess it's again because it was happening in 2000, and it wasn't as internet savvy things back then. So I guess it just didn't pick up, especially because it was Ernest, and not I guess many people cared yet. But the film was instead recast and released as Pirates of the Plane, starring Tim Curry, which makes me want to see the film even more.
Yeah.
How could you write a film for Ernest and then go, we can't get Ernest to do it? Tim Curry. Perfect. Do it. The clown from It. Got it. The hotel clerk from Home Alone 2. Great.
The guy from The Thing.
If you don't have a real reference.
And I'll never forget it.
Clue.
From the thousands.
Clue.
Thousands.
He did something in Clue.
He was the butler.
You couldn't even say he was Wadsworth. You don't have anything.
Nigel Thornberry.
Hello. I'm Nigel Thornberry. Yeah, so... I did sequel a little already, apparently.
Did this.
We already did it, though. No fucking sequel. None of that stupid crap. Oh, man.
Ernest gets lung cancer.
Why? Was Jim Varney a smoker?
Yeah, that's how he died.
I didn't know that.
Apparently, I looked this up. He gets diagnosed with lung cancer, and they're like, and then he's like, oh, I should quit smoking, and then goes and films an anti-smoking ad and dies. Not during the filming of the anti, but he is like, I should let kids know.
Yeah, it was too late. His body started to fight back. You're like, don't smoke cigarettes. Like, what the fuck are you saying, dude? No! His lungs choked him.
Well, I think that's how lung cancer works.
I think that's how, that's how emphysema works, I think. I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever. All right, that's it, I think, right? Everybody's done?
Yeah, I think so.
Once again, thank you for joining us for Ernest Scared Stupid. All right, you can keep up with everything Why Would You Make This by following us on Facebook, Tumblr, or Twitter by searching WWYMT. You can also email us at whywouldyoumake@gmail.com if you'd like to contact us directly. You can download our episodes directly at www.ymt.libsyn.com. You can also subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, on your computer and through your iPhone or iPod. If you have an Android phone, you can use the Double Pod app. Check out victoryprowrestling.com. They have a show coming up in November.
Yeah.
Sometime. And they have one every month, right? At least?
Pretty much.
So again, check out Victory Pro Wrestling. That's VictoryProwrestling.com. The Troy McClure clip comes from Homer Alone, the 15th episode of the 3rd season of The Simpsons. Our intro music is Falling Off Your Love by Kill Paris. The theme song from the television show Hey Vern, It's Ernest will be taking us out. So enjoy that if you can. For Danny Money, J Delta, I am Jimmy Time, and please remember, without the mistakes of others, we'd be forced to endure the pain of failure ourselves. Support the arts.
Hey, Vern, today's your lucky day. We knew you wouldn't want to oversleep, Vern. We only do it once a week, Vern. Me and all the other guys, Vern. We even brought the pies, Vern. It's your Ernest P. War with a story and a moral and a big chuckle, hip trip, double dip, super supreme show. You know what I mean? Yo! Hey, Vern, we moved your furniture and now we're gonna fire up the barbecue, Vern. We owe it all to you, Vern. But now you gotta move, Vern. Hey, Vern! Hey, Vern! Hey, Vern, it's me. I'm on TV.
The preceding recording is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed in this